Sorry. Welcome to episode 32 of Collecting Justified here on the Just Justin Collects YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you click that join button because you're going to love it. We're going to have a lot of fun here. We hang out, we justify our collecting and all this plastic I'm surrounded with. If you're here on the replay, make sure you're subscribed. And next Saturday, forget the family, forget everything you got going on. Come join us, come hang out. If you're here live, if you're a channel member, make sure you are dropping those channel member exclusive emojis in the chat, or just say hi and let us shout you out at the end of the housekeeping here. I am excited. Today I've got a lot of pickups. So tomorrow is my birthday. And let's be honest, if we make it past midnight, we'll go ahead and call it. It's my birthday. So this might be my birthday stream, maybe. We're probably going to go past midnight. You know how we roll here. But I'm excited. I have a lot of awesome toys, a lot of pickups to show off today. And ironically, it's a lot of pickups mean an expensive week. This week, we're going to be talking about all those prices going up. If you're like me, I try to wait on sales, try to haggle, I try to, make offers on Macari, and, you scour Big Bad Toy Store for sales, and you pile on that pile of loot to take care of that, to take advantage of the $4 shipping that takes like a week and a half to get to your house after you use it. I'm rambling, but you know who doesn't ramble, who always keeps me straight. Let me start bringing in my wonderful co-hosts, starting with none other than David, Evan, and Smith.
Wait, I keep you straight? I must be failing at something if I'm keeping the boys straight. Hello, Justin. Happy birthday, Eve, and Hello out there to all the toy sluts and basic bitches that are joining us today. I think I saw Joan Barr in the chat. Is that Andrew's mom?
That's my
Or
wonderful
your
mom.
mom?
That's my mom. Love you, mom.
Mom, look at that. So she came to celebrate your birthday with you, and Gigi and Kalia are watching, apparently. I don't know who they are, but I'm sure there's somebody important to you.
Yes, yes. David, we're going to have fun tonight, my friend. We're going to have fun. We got a lot to talk about. I know we were talking earlier in the week, like, oh, there hasn't been that much news. Oh, forget that,
Well,
I guess.
Get ready.
I've got a slideshow set up for news. I've got tabs open for stuff I couldn't fit on the slideshow. We've got so much to talk about and a main topic to get to, David, which all this news just feeds into that main topic. Just you can't escape it. You know, yeah. I was kicking in that overtime at work. I swear ever since I've been back from vacation, I haven't had a week where I haven't worked well over 50 hours.
Oh, wow.
So that's been fun. But you gotta, but who's been, missing some work because he's been locked in the basement a good bit. Let's bring in our next co-host, Andrew.
Hey,
how's it going?
You haven't missed too much work, right, Andrew? The basement hasn't been keeping you too much.
Maybe a few hours.
Yeah, Andrew, I see you've still got somebody displayed proudly behind you right there. I might have some news.
Look at them
to share today. Oh yeah, you got the one and only, the one of one full size cuppy.
OG.
Got some cuppy news. But Andrew, there's even some Star Wars news for you to talk about today, Andrew. It's crazy. It's only like 6 figures, but
it's something.
6 Star Wars figures. We got like 60 McFarlane figures to talk about because when Todd don't play.
One last hurrah.
One last hurrah. That's right. And since we've got so many Star Wars figures to talk about, we can't do it without the big Star Wars McFarlane figures to talk about. We can't do it without the biggest McFarlane fan there is. Let's bring in Alexi.
Scott always takes forever to bring us in. I guess I'll just get a little hi, guys. Hey, happy Saturday.
What up, Alexi?
How you guys doing? I'm broke personally, but looking forward to all the reveals.
Oh yeah, all the stuff you're not gonna be able to afford, right?
Exactly.
But it's so much McFarlane. I swear, there was nothing, and then it's like, oh, Tony the Tiger, that's cool, and then it's like, oh, here's like 60 photos of McFarlane reveals. Like, Todd just wanted to put it all out. Yeah, maybe this guy decided to show some stuff off. Maybe maybe that's I got some pickups. But guys, we got a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead and knock out this housekeeping real quick. Again, this is Collecting Justified, your favorite and most consistent Saturday night toy talk show, podcast, whatever. I don't know. Video podcast. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. Here, right on time at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right, David? Yeah. I'm about to just change it to 9 o'clock. Just so I'm always late anyway.
It only took us 32 episodes to acknowledge that it's gonna be 9 o'clock. Okay.
Well, So the free still not Andrew. Free Our Friend from the Basement Fund is open. Make sure you drop those super chats, super thanks, gift some memberships, let some people in on the Justified. Let our friend Bay, I don't know, we just call him Bay, out of the basement here. And if you do gift those channel memberships, they can become a member of the Justified. Make sure you're a member of the Justified. We have a 2-tier system here. And yes, there is a lot of favoritism that goes around the amount, the tier you are is the level we love you. It's, it's just, it is what it is. I'm not going to mince words. You can, pause here or if you don't want to pause here, just click that join button in the description down below. It'll take you to a web page where it tells you everything you get. And you might get one of these if you hurry. Well, I'll talk more about Cuppy in a little bit, okay, at the end of the housekeeping. So, speaking of those wonderful Justified members, I do want to shout out everyone at the beginning of the live stream, and they'll get a shout out at the end too, as we always do. I tell you what, I'm going to do this one, and at the end, I'm going to randomly draw a name out of a hat, or the quiz bowl. Might bring the quiz bowl back, David. Your good old friend. Draw a name out of the quiz bowl and see who's going to read them at the end. But thank you to our Justified MVP members, Z-Man12 Bat, aka Agent Z-Man, the very first original Justified channel member, Legion X Rick. We love Rick over here. Oh man, I meant to add Rick's photo to the slideshow. Rick did an amazing custom artwork of Cuppy. I love it. Compulsive Collector John. He loves to hate to love us. Thank you, John. John Morrissey, my best friend, is here. I saw him in the chat. Thank you, John Morrissey. David, Evan, and Smith, the guy right underneath me right here. Michael Davis, thank you so much, Michael Davis, and St. James, the patron saint of collecting himself. And we don't just thank those Justified MVP members. We thank them first, of course, because we love them more, right? We also thank the Justified members, Dan Who Reviews, Christopher Allen, Displayed Once, aka Rich M, Kurt K, Encounter Culture, Kenny, who, if you haven't noticed, is not with us tonight. He abandoned us. He said something about cigarettes and lotto tickets and went out the door. I don't know. He might, guys, he's going to be back. He cares, okay? He cares.
Where are you, Kenny? Face us, you coward.
Also, Cole's Cave, who was our special guest last week. If you haven't checked out last week's show, make sure you go back and check out Cole's Cave here on the channel. We go through and show off a lot of his amazing photography. And as well as we had him judge our photography blindly, or so we thought. We had him guess and who did which photo, and he got 9 out of 9 right. And and he ranked them all. And I don't want to pat myself on the back or anything, but I did get the highest ratings until David decided to pull one out of nowhere and cheat and try to win. It's okay. It's okay. Also, thank you, Mikey Moonboots. Your boys got toys right down there at the bottom. Alexi's with us today. Jesse Hubbard. Now, correct me. This is Jared, right?
Yeah.
On the Who Crew.
I want to say
right?
Gerard.
Yeah. I always want to say Gerard, but he pronounces it Jared. So I'm
Wait.
sorry. I'm sorry, Jared.
Jesse Hubbard is Jared?
No,
In Ireland?
under. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Alexi.
that. Oh, okay. You confused me. I was like, how many names does he have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I believe I was pronouncing it Gerard all stream last week. So I if that is you, Jared, I apologize, my friend.
Alexa, you have you have to start the stream a little more sober. Just a little,
just a tad. Just a tad.
By the end,
this craft foam primer hits you harder than you think. I'll tell you that.
I bet.
As well as STM Figures, if I didn't already say your name. Bring Toys to Work, Super Turk 5000, Zion Collectibles, Chi Chi Collects, Tac Tac Toys, KJ Smith, AJ Marine, John Busink Jr., Pixels and Plastics, Cedric Brown, Brian Wong, Craft Collects, and Joe Juxtapose. Thank you, everybody, for being a member of the Justified. So, guys, I do see a lot of people here in the chat. Let's see here. David was here early. John Morrissey was here. Almost ready to be Justified. I've missed you all week, except for Kenny. So he won't be here tonight. Will he? Yeah, actually, John, no, he won't be here tonight. Kenny will not be here tonight. Christopher Allen is dropping the channel member emojis in the chat. St. James is here as well as Gabriel. Hello, Gabriel. Thank you for being here, my friend. Lorenz the Blackder is here to be Justified. Let's see here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. My mom is here. Hi, Mom. How's it going? Chi Chi Collects is here. Thank you, Chi Chi, for being here. So it's very late your time. I'm already a year older in your time, Chi Chi, I guess, in the future. Let's see here. Christopher Allen plans to be asleep by my birthday. It's okay. Allen. Cardback is here. David Evan Smith doesn't keep anyone straight. Reverse conversation therapy. Yeah, pretty much. Thank you for being here, Cardback. So, guys, before we get into anything else, before we get into pickups, I do want to say the first wave of cuppies are done. Mini cuppies are done. So I've got my prototype and the 7 for the MVP members going out. This, if anyone wants version 1 and you're not an MVP, I'm leaving it open, and I will do an emergency batch if I need to.
Pinless joints, guys. Pinless joints.
I'm telling you.
Fully articulated.
Look at that.
Insane balance. Not knocking
Yeah.
this guy over, okay? Insanely stable
And who
action
knows?
feature.
This might be the only one with an action feature. So I've decided I'm going to do 4 a year. So there's going to be 1 drop a quarter, and each time it's going to be a different variant. I've already got the next 3 decided on the next 3 variants I'm doing. I just haven't. I think I know the order it's going to be. I'm going to leave it a surprise, though. I'm going to leave it a surprise. But the next one I am super excited about. My wife has agreed to help me make it happen. So I'm very excited. But
Lorenz,
there will never be another
Lorenz,
re-release.
It does not come with a stand, so pass.
No. Well, look at this amazing balance, David. Amazing balance. Well,
Factually, it does not come with a stand. That is true. Though.
well, you know what?
So.
Maybe one of them. Maybe. Okay, a little hint. It's not going to be the next one, but in the future, there might be a super cuppy. Who knows? Maybe as a big middle finger to Hasbro, he might come with a flight stand.
What?
I don't know. Maybe.
McFarlane Toys collab? Cooking?
Yeah, it might be like a straw jammed into a piece of cardboard, but it'll work. Okay.
Capri.
Some assembly required.
All right. Oh, here we go, Blattner. Here we go, Lorenz. Yeah. Maximum Series Cuppy. Yep. Exactly. So that one will be available to the MVP. A new tier I'm going to roll out, right?
Oh.
It's $50 a month. So, but
your boys got toys points out that there's no web sperm included, but you can provide your own. I'm just saying.
No. And so the swords are
Adventures of Cuppy.
different colors. So I will say it's going to be completely random on who gets which one. So I'm going to box them up randomly. I'm going to box them up and then mix them up and then like put the shipping labels or whatever. So there's only, I think the green sword one is the chase. There's only one green sword one going out.
Is that the only size that you have right now? This wave is just going to be the mini size?
Yeah, they're all going to be minis going forward.
And the one that Andrew has, that's the beer pong issue, right? It's the larger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Full size.
Nice.
Full size.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Tishi Collects in the chat asks if you can please do a birthday shot from a cuppy live on stream. So it sounds like the cuppies that you have are the perfect size.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I don't want to ruin them, though. I do have. So this one is mine. So, of course, I'm going to keep one of each variant right here. So I might could do.
What if one were to super chat? Then would you be more enticed?
Yeah, I'd have to go downstairs and find something. But yeah, I possibly could. I'd have to go find something. Hopefully, we have something in the house. I'll see.
I got a bottle of bourbon for you, but I don't know if
there
I
we go.
just
Hold on. Do I just? There we go.
Try with my LaCroix.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something blocking it.
Something. Yeah. The tariffs. It's but but guys, so next let's get into pickups because I do have a lot to show off. Does everybody have something? Anybody not have anything? Andrew was stuck in the basement.
Something on order. That's it.
Ooh, there we go.
I have that clay face that I showed off that technically I didn't have last time, but
here we go.
I do have this time. Yeah.
There we go. Alexia, I was very, very impressed by that clay face, mainly because I never had the original, but there's no cell shading, which I'm happy about, and the quality just feels really good for such an old mold too.
Yeah. It definitely feels heavy in the box. I haven't had time to open it. But this is the Best Buy exclusive, which I actually didn't know was a Best Buy exclusive until after I had gotten it. I just saw that it was, what is that, gold? Wow.
Gold label.
24 karat gold plated cardboard. I didn't realize it was a Best Buy exclusive until after I got it from Best Buy. But the short story long, which is the opposite of what I want to do, is that they wouldn't sell it to me the day that I saw it on the floor because it wasn't supposed to be on the floor technically until the next day. That very same day, Justin Collects himself received his from Amazon. So Justin was allowed to get clay.
No, I got mine from. It was from Best Buy. Mine was
that was from. Oh my god! Damn. So Best Buy stomped me in the nuts, let Justin go, and then I went back the next day. And initially they couldn't find it, but luckily the guy who worked at Best Buy that helped me, regular size Kevin, had them literally lock it up in the manager's office, like under key with a note for me. So shout out to Kevin, got the Best Buy exclusive, wasn't even hunting for him. And it seems like there's only one per store at this point, like for physical ones.
So in protest, you're gonna not open it for multiple weeks from getting it.
I'm an inbox collector now, dude.
Oh no!
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I've been watching Ryan Ting too much.
You need to open it, and then you need to display him with the head that goes yas. You know,
Is there one?
yeah, that
I-
head.
I
Oh,
do
head.
not like that head. No.
Yas. You know,
Something's off about that one. Something's off.
He looks like
the yas head.
he looks like a
Yas.
little Grimer.
Yep.
I will say, real chain on that one arm with like the spike ball.
Oh yeah,
Real chain.
yeah. The mace as the
Yeah.
chain, clay chain, I guess,
Yep. Yeah.
but
It's
chain
painted. Yeah.
nonetheless.
So that will
Yeah.
flake.
Nice.
And-
Oh, you know, I'm noticing it has the hips that I don't like. Those
Mhm.
original style Marvel
Terrible.
Select / DC Collectibles hips, where the groin is cut all up.
But foot peg on the bottom of the feet, and he comes with a
Oh,
stand.
nice.
Oh, a little foot peg
Oh,
stand.
that's right. The original ones didn't have peg holes on the feet, huh?
No,
Pieces of
I don't know
shit.
if his original one did, because he was a deluxe. Maybe with
Yeah.
bigger feet, maybe they could do it.
David, do the Batman 66 5 POAs have peg holes on the feet?
Let me look at my wax Robin.
Wax, sure, David. Wax.
But anyway, yeah,
Yes, they
Sick.
do. Yes, they do.
they do. Oh, okay. Nice. Then yeah, this sounds like a really good pickup aside from the hips, but it's like I'm not having Clayface do the splits or even like a wide stance
Yeah.
on the shelf or anything. So
I wish he was a little taller. Is my biggest thing. That's my only complaint. I wish he was a little taller. Let me.
That's what he said.
wish it was a little bit taller. Wish he was a baller. A baller
So-
Clay.
Let me bring myself up here for a second. So
Okay.
Clayface. Batman. Hold on.
Yeah, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Wish he was
Yeah,
a
I
little
guess he
taller.
does look a little short.
Yeah.
You can just buy the Mondo one, and then he's way
Oh my
taller.
God.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if you just have
Actually,
like
that would
300
be a
bucks laying
fun
around.
yeah, that'd be a fun transformation display.
You know, it would work though in the collection, honestly, because Clayface can change his size. So
This
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. You've
But yeah,
got to
this-
have an imagination, Justin. You know.
yeah. I wish my camera would focus.
Imagination in collecting action figures? Get out of here.
Never.
Never happens.
All right, Alexi, did you have anything else, man?
That was it. I got a bunch of supplies from a Joanne that's going out of business, so I'm gonna
Hmm.
do some custom work on this weapons kit for Cable. It's probably
Ooh.
gonna blow out. So I have his spear or like his scythe. What is it called? A scimitar. Yeah. So his scimitar, I have that, and then I have his two other guns from his Marvel vs. Capcom attacks, but I have them, Forge and then Cable himself are holding one
Oh.
each. But they're all this like really obvious like matte gray color, so it looks a little
Right.
weird. So that's actually why I got this craft foam primer and then some sealants and some little paints that I'm gonna attempt. This is my first time ever painting and customizing anything, so I'm gonna see how that goes. But I got advice from D Blake Makes, so shout out to D Blake Makes. Dark Joker's in over at Infinity Equation also try to help me out, so I'm looking forward to the results, but I'm not gonna expect anything amazing.
If you become really good at painting, Alexi, I might have something that was 3D printed for me I could ship to you. You can just paint it for me. Okay.
That would be
And-
awesome. You know, we're not all as lucky as Dan Who Reviews, who, when receiving this kit from the creator Daisho Creations, had a fully painted set. And so when I got mine delivered and I opened the box to this, I was a little surprised, but
You
it's
know,
gonna give me an opportunity.
those those big wig YouTubers get all the perks.
I know.
They get all the perks. But to answer Brian Merchant's question, let me bring myself up here if I can get it to focus. He's not cell shaded at all, Brian Merchant. So just as far as I know, I don't own the original, but same as the original. And Cardmax says ACBA of Clayface as a toilet bowl, please. I mean, you could pop the head off, and I think that could, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let me pop that back on there. There we go.
It has to be the Yas head.
Yeah, there we go. Sean is here. Hello, gents. Longtime listener, first time caller. Well, thank you for being here, Sean. Don't be a stranger. If you've got any questions or anything, ask them in the chat. And we might not, we've got a lot to talk about, so we might not get to it immediately, but we'll try do our best to get to you eventually. Thank you for watching. So let me see here. David, you said you have some pickups, my friend.
I do. So
brought me
first,
back up.
oh,
I don't know why I did that.
It's about Justin right now. So
No, it's on you, right?
it is. No, I think it's on you.
What in the world? No?
I have David big in front of me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I put it on you. It snapped back to me, and I had to snap it back to you. I don't know. StreamYard's been crazy.
on YouTube over there on my TV, I'm big, but I'm delayed there, and you're big on the Zoom.
Oh, that was the snapback. It should
Yeah.
have gone back now, no?
I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway, so first a shout out to St. James, one of our MVPs. He got his Nemesis wave, but didn't want Fabian or
What?
Ooh.
So being that they are uniformed characters, he sent them my way so I can build on my team. So in the process of figuring out who they're going to be, but I also picked, like, I just ordered a Nighthawk from Squadron Supreme because he has blue arms that look like they match this blue. So I'm going to try to swap the arms so there's a sleeved Acolyte for whoever.
Why does it keep doing that? It keeps
I'm
bringing
big
me back
now.
up.
See, now it's you. Like, I was big for a split second when I had the Acolyte up. But
I thought we were
now
cutting
you're
to
big.
Justin for reaction shots,
No.
and then we go
No,
back.
Oh yeah, this is like
I muted my
live
mic.
guys.
I
Yeah.
muted my mic to pour my drink into my mug, and every time when I muted, it brought me back. And when I had to swap it, and then when I clicked unmute, it brought me back again. I don't know. StreamYard's being crazy right now, man.
And I don't know if anybody is aware that Amazon is doing a spring sale. So there was some reduced price things. So I picked up another set of Rogue and Destiny because I do want to turn this into a Wasp custom.
Nice.
Yeah, so I gotta.
What was the
figure
sale
that
price for that?
I want to say it might have been like $19.99, which is like a one-figure price for this two
Yeah.
sets.
You said
Which
that was
comes-
Amazon?
Tons of accessories. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was put in the, I think Bring Toys to Work posted it in the Legends and Liquor chat as a link when they were below.
Excellent work, Michael.
Right? Always looking out. Also picked up another of this Rogue. She's $14 on Amazon.
Nice.
So I do like that head sculpt and the hair. So can't go wrong with another extra Rogue. I just picked up an extra Fang because cmdstore.com, that's cmdstore.com,
Not sponsored.
the new mini comic wave in stock as of my last viewing of the website. So I ordered that and it is shipping in progress right now. So I should have that by the next stream. And that Dark Wolverine comes with an unmasked Deken head, and Deken did get his own Fang costume. So I will be able to use both Dark Wolverine heads with this figure and that one. So that's while I was on CMD Store, this stock. So the not quite Jamie Foxx Electro figure.
If you turn it to the side, does it have a little bit of his likeness? I saw someone say something about that.
He's got ears. and he
Excellent.
has a goatee.
Close enough.
So, and he has a
It's-
fade. So yeah.
Yep. There
So
we go.
I'd say there's some kind of likeness there. But yeah, it's a nice figure. He feels small though. Like if you put him up against let's see, put him up against Fabian Cortez, and foot to foot, he's like a bit shorter. So it's kind of small. But
Like, we can go ahead and point out the obvious, right? That should not be a deluxe deluxe price on that figure. That should have been a general price, $24.99 figure. It's a good figure, but there's no reason that, because what, it's 35, is it 40?
I think it was $35.99, maybe 39. I
I
don't
thought
know.
it was 40. Yeah.
It might
That's
be $39.99. Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
stupid. I mean, I bought it, but that's so stupid.
I spent the money, but damn it, I was not happy.
Idiots.
Yeah, I mean, it is nicely sculpted. It is all new sculpt. He's wearing some Tims, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe it's the Tims. Maybe the likeness rights for the Tims cost.
I'm over the excuse of, well, it's, new this, new that. That doesn't justify any type of price increase.
Unjustifiable.
Because, yeah.
Unjustifiable.
Yeah.
While I was ordering that, I also picked up the
Nice.
Red Hood from the Adventures Continue animated. I noticed just now he has this red logo on his back. I didn't know
Has that ever been in any artwork?
Well,
No.
he's in the Page Punchers line from McFarlane, so there's a comic that comes with this. I didn't read it yet, but I'll have to investigate and get back to you. So, but figured it's good to have a Red Hood animated figure, so he'll be able to be added to that. And then my latest pickup as of today, thank you Best Buy coming through.
Clayface?
No, did not pick up Clayface. I do have the original, but Bert,
Hey, Bert.
with his Boring Stories
Hey,
book. Wait.
What are you doing, Ernie?
So I picked up Ernie last week, and this is just adorable. Like, we can't go wrong. Now, the good feature about this, they each come with two heads. Like, Ernie and Bert each come with two heads. And the eyebrow, the unibrow, is swappable between the two heads.
Ooh.
You can pluck it out. You can pluck his eyebrow out.
Display him like that.
Looks like Beaker.
So there's
Beaker's
a more
father.
stern one. This is the more stern, serious unibrow. And then there's one that's more arched, up, which is more optimistic, I guess.
Yeah.
So really fun. The other head is an open mouth head. So, and then he comes with a ton of shit. He comes with the letter A, sponsored by the letter A.
Whoa.
The face on that is
awesome.
disturbing.
Oh, so good though.
Yeah.
Love it. And then he comes with his bottle cap collection on a frame that you could stand. He comes
Bert's
with
a collector.
He is. He's a nerdy collector. He comes with a pigeon.
Nice.
Put it with your G.I. Joe animals.
Right. And he comes with a box that hinges open. It says on the top, boy oh boy. And inside is a bunch of paper clips. Another collection.
I love it.
So Bert is my spirit animal. And he's just doesn't like people and likes to read boring stories, and
Doesn't he also come with trigger fingers?
I don't think he comes with trigger fingers. Maybe.
Wait, really?
Maybe. Let me.
Alexi, you're talking about
the hands I threw in a pile.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
All of those posts.
Yeah, those pictures are crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, how many people have thought about Bert freaking mercy killing Ernie?
I don't know if
Bert
you can
as
count,
John Wick.
I don't
Yeah.
That could work.
know as a trigger
Yeah.
That's
finger.
definitely it. That's definitely it. Yeah.
It's kind of a pointing finger. Like
On
he just
Instagram, people have been using those to have Bert shoot Ernie like executioner style. Yeah, multiple people have posted that.
well,
Yes, Lorenz, Cuppy
This is
does
for
come
you.
with trigger fingers. Look, every time I touch anything, it brings me back up to full screen.
I guess
I thought you were
StreamYard,
gonna
I'm not
say
be big.
StreamYard, it's get your shit
because you're the
straight.
host, maybe.
I guess it's never done this before. I know I had a feeling because there was one little update that I see down like where I can see you guys in the green room, like a present or invite button that is different. So instantly when I saw that, when I booted up StreamYard, I was like, uh-oh, they did updates. And yep. Every time there's updates, there's problems.
So David, I went over to the Amazon Spring Deals, and the Destiny 2 pack is no longer on sale. It's back to regular price. However, the Lalandra and what is that alien race again in X-Men?
Brood Wolverine.
Yeah, Lalandra and Brood Wolverine is only $40, down from 50. So if you need that, that's not a bad deal.
Okay.
John Bordeaux said just bought Electro from Target today. Good. Yeah, some
I've
people are
seen
finding them
him
on
pop up in
Target.
Targets, but I cannot
Yeah.
find a damn thing at Target so far. So.
Amazon, I think, said that my pre-order should ship sooner than you know what Amazon does. They'll like, oh, it'll actually, and they move the date back, and then they'll move the date forward, and then back again, and then forward again. So
Well, Hasbro Pulse will actually send you an email saying your item is going to ship today, and then it doesn't ship, and then they'll send you another email saying, like 3 days later, your item will ship today, and it still doesn't ship. So I got that email about Electro about 3 times, and I still had time to order this on CMD, cancel that Pulse pre-order that never shipped, and get my money back, free my money up from Hasbro Pulse. So yeah, shady.
Yeah. Hasbro Pulse is usually kind of lagging in mostly everything. At least Hasbro Pulse US. I don't know about anywhere
Mostly
else.
everything.
Mostly everything.
They're like
All
as
right,
slow as BBTS, but BBTS is like upfront about it.
Yeah. Look, it's $4 flat rate shipping. You'll get it when you freaking get it.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Mike Hext is here. What's up,
Hey.
Mike? All right, David, was that it for your pickups, my friend?
It
Or
was.
do you have anything
but
else?
I just want to shout out Jay's Toy Collection UK. He had some kind of home mishap, and he was attended to by medical professionals, but he's okay. So just glad to hear that you're okay and that you're going to be okay. And enjoy the new skylight in your house.
Wait, did something really happen to him?
Yeah, it was in the Legends and Liquor chat.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, he fell through the floor from a higher floor in his house. And
like he fell off of a ladder and went through the floor?
No, I think he was standing on the floor and fell through the floor.
And then it collapsed?
Maybe termites.
Out of his attic.
I don't know. I don't know.
He said he stepped on a board that wasn't secured, and he should have known better.
Was he in the attic?
But yeah, he was in the attic. He said he was moving the McFarlane Batmobile when it happened. And I'm laughing about it because Jay let us know he's okay. It wouldn't be funny if he didn't know he was okay, but everything came back fine. So then I made sure to make this. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. I made sure to make this and send it in the chat and make sure to send it to Jay and Kiara too.
Oh my god.
We're glad you're okay, Jay.
Yeah.
We're glad you're okay.
Jay. Hopefully if you're laid up, you're watching us.
Yeah, exactly. And he said that the funny thing was when he fell, he was watching one of Kenny's videos and the phone was still in the attic playing the video. So they had to climb up there and get the phone and turn the video off when they got. Oh my gosh.
We're glad you hurt. Let's check it out.
And Kenny is mysteriously absent after causing Jay
Right?
huge
For legal
It's
accidents.
all too
reasons.
convenient.
Mhm.
In my mind, there's a big bang with Jay falling, and then it's just silent, and then you hear muffled from the attic. Taller to detail.
And here we're having back up with Pokemon from Mars.
Oh my gosh. But we're happy you're okay, Jay. We're happy you're okay. So
Definitely.
let me get into my pickups. I've got quite a bit. It wasn't going to be much, but it was one of those weeks where it's like, oh, this shipped. Oh, and last week I decided to ship my BBTS pile of loot, even though it only had 2 figures in it, because none of my other pre-orders were going to hit anytime soon, apparently. So at that point, I'm like, well, I want to get them in hand. So let's see here. First, before I get to that, through my work, they have like a rewards program where you get like points and you can redeem them on like a company app or whatever, and you can get like gift cards. So I didn't realize I had some points built up, and I had enough points for like $75 in Amazon gift cards. So I was able
Oh,
to
yeah.
use that towards a few things.
Nice.
So you can see I've got Stan Lee. Well, you can't really see it, but he's back there on top of the Marvel sign. So I wanted to go ahead and get old Toddy Mac here too. And man, so got it for the Toddy Mac. Dude, he is too dang tall. My God, look at these legs. But my plan is like, I also got the NECA Kirby because you kind of have
Nice.
to, right?
Yep.
And in my mind, I was like, well, Stan Lee's a Marvel legend. He'll be a little smaller, but you know, Kirby's a NECA. He'll be closer to like McFarlane. No, he's going to be like Stan Lee's height.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that.
wow.
My
Yeah.
God. I think Mike Hex did a mod on his Todd mod. Oh God, don't get me started
A Todd mod?
mods. No,
You're
no.
you're
You
Don't
saying
get me
modded the
started on
Todd?
those
Todd
pieces of
mod?
crap.
The Mod Father?
But I think Mike trimmed the legs or replaced the legs with like Marvel Legends legs, and it looked a lot better. So
You did
Mike
a
hit
Todd
me up
mod on
with
Todd's bod?
that. Oh my God.
We do
But
have to emphasize that of those 3 epic comic artists and writers, 2 of those 3 did not make figures of themselves. Other people made figures of them.
Mm.
Only Todd decided that he should have a figure.
right. And this guy right here, this guy.
You're not doing the barefoot?
No.
No?
God, no. God. That's exactly what Brian Merchant says. Let's see them
Z-Man is
bare
asking as well. Feet out, shoes on.
feet. Z-Man, yeah. Nope. Mm-mm. I do want to say that John Morrissey points out that StreamYard just knows I'm most important. That's why he keeps wanting to highlight me right there. So I got those guys, and I had went by GameStop, and you know, I found Marge last week. Marge and Lenny were at Target last week. I left Lenny, so I'm like, I'll pick him up at any point. Lenny will be the one that's easier to find next to Baseball Homer, I feel like. Was in GameStop. They had the whole wave except Lenny. But that meant I was able to get
Nice.
Hey.
and I had my GameStop like monthly gift card too, the $5 off. So super cheap. The bike, actually, you know, it's higher quality than I expected from like a cheap line. And yeah, guys, when you get this,
it's not a cheap line, Justin. It is financially
Affordable.
accessible.
right? Make sure nobody throws this plastic piece away. It's like hidden. You need this for the bike
Oh.
to stand up. Do not throw that away. But yeah, Millhouse looks good. The eyes are good because they're very, you know, the eyes are good. The eyes on my Marge are a little shoddy. I don't know if I said that. Maggie's eyes are fine. Marge will not stand up. She's fallen over on my shelf like 6 times. She will not stand up. Let's see. Also, where should I go? I went by my local toy store, Cosmos. Andrew, shout out Cosmos. And I said, I remember a long time ago saying I wasn't going to go completionist on the Street Fighter line. And then I got one. It needed a friend. And then the thing is, if they're just going to do the whole roster, you might as well get the whole roster. It's not that many figures. You're going to be done. You don't have to get all the player 2 variants and all that stuff. So I got DJ and Cammy. So I'm caught up on all the at least one version of each current release. So I got those late to the party, but I waited and had some trade-in credit, took some stuff in there. And Alexi, what I also got was some of that trade-in credit.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Wow.
This is the blue and gray Hush Batman.
The best one.
I've been waiting for this one because I've got my definitive Superman, which is the Hush Superman. And this will be like my definitive comic Batman, or generic Batman, really. It looks great. I took him out, messed with it a little bit. It looks great. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. I have the same trouble with the knees on this Batman as I have with the Hush Superman, where I have to be careful after I bend them. When I bend them back, you have to kind of push them in, keep it from scrubbing.
They
I
get
don't know
like
if you
snagged.
yeah, and you don't want to chip the paint, right? So they work just fine, but you just have to be careful, you know. Again, it's not a toy, it's an adult collectible. So you just be careful. Don't go all ham hands with it. But I'm excited about this. It's great. I'm glad I was deciding between that one and the Nightfall. I'm happy I went with Hush. Something about the Nightfall one just looks odd to me. I don't know why. I don't know. But Big Bad Toy Store pile of loot. It was only 2 figures, and they were both Mythic Legions. So they had the Deluxe Legion Builder skeleton. This is an older figure on sale at one point. So I picked it up. It comes with a lot of accessories. And it's just an extra Legion to put on the shelf in a growing, very small collection there. But one of the newer figures that everyone's showing off, and I was excited about this back when the Necronominus pre-order went up, like 3 years ago? I don't know, 2 years ago. But I picked up Sir Elijah. And this thing is potential figure of the year. Cloth goods. Like, this is all cloth right here. It's all cloth. Comes with so many weapons. He comes with a helmeted head and this head, and it's a faceplate. So you can take this faceplate off, and he comes with a skeleton faceplate you put into. And it looks so good. With the shield, you can either have him holding the handle, or it comes with a clip you can peg in instead if you want to do that. I would never use a clip on this to scrape up that armor. No. Nope, never. But this is potential figure of the year right here. This thing is, I can't do it just like on camera. It doesn't do it justice. It's awesome. I'm so happy with it. Sometimes I'm tempted to cut out a couple lines and just go all in on Legions. Sometimes I'm really tempted.
When is the dragon coming? When is the dragon coming?
I don't know. Oh gosh, nah. The dragon will sadly not be happening for me. Speaking of a dragon or a beast-looking thing, this is not a figure. This is a 3D printed object from a movie that I'm pretty sure none of you have watched yet. Kubo and the Two Strings.
I've seen it.
Oh, Andrew watched
I watched
Andrew,
it.
What did you think?
It's a good movie.
It's so
Excellent.
good. It's so good.
I'm just gonna go refill my iced tea. This is some weed shit.
So I had picked up, these 3D printed, things from the movie. It's the Totem of Monkey, and this is Paper Hanzo.
Yeah.
Spoilers, dude. Come on.
I also got, now this is 3D printed, so it's very breakable, so I have to be careful. And it came in like 3 different pieces, and I'll eventually glue it. But it came unpainted, and I wish I was a skilled enough painter, because the colors of this on like a painted version would look amazing. This is the Moon Beast.
Okay.
Oh,
the main antagonist is the Moon King, and it came with a little minifigure of him too. It's not going to focus. It's not going to focus. But this thing is awesome looking. Like, painting it would be a pain though. It has like a lot of shading, a lot of like blues and yellows in there and stuff. And not going to happen. But I'll eventually have that, like all 3 pieces glued together, and that'll find a home on the shelf. And I'm not done. So there's all that. So tomorrow's my birthday, but Christy went ahead. My wife, she went ahead and gave me my birthday present early. And so it was a couple of Pokemon figures that I missed out on. You know, the Pokemon line isn't expensive, but the Jazzwares figures, not even the select figures, like the battle figures, the little cheaper ones, the distribution on them is awful. So then, like, if you don't find them in store, they're impossible to find online. But she found me. I was missing an Incineroar, and she found me. And a lot of these, they do have like little actions for fun. So that's fun. You know,
Fury swipes.
a toy, right? And I did see this one in store like probably a year and a half ago, and I passed on it for some reason. I was like, oh, I'll pick it up later. Never saw it ever again. Aerodactyl. And I regretted not picking it up, but finally got the Aerodactyl. And now is when like Jazzwares or Blockies do like a fully articulated version of both of these. And I'm just like, sorry, babe.
That'd be sick.
But the best gift, and I was talking to David and Andrew about this before we went live. The old Hasbro carded Pokemon figures, the non-articulated or anything like that, they would come in multi-packs. So I had this, and it's just 3 Pikachus, right? With the Game Boy that shoots the ball out, and you like store the little discs in there. I had this, and I remember, like, you know, it's Pikachu, you know, the paint on these. I don't know if you can tell the shading and like the white on the mouse. You can tell like this is original from the show, like first few episodes or first season Pikachu, where he was kind of chubby and weird looking. But for some reason, like these just stick out in my memory. I had other Pokemon figures too, but you know, when you're young and everything, the whole show is about Pikachu. So she found this mint on card for me, and that was awesome. It was very thoughtful of her. Yeah.
What's the cross sale on the back?
Yeah. See.
Oh, nice.
Right there. I had more of these, and it wasn't any of these. I had like a bunch of multi-packs, and we've got more of these on card. Like we've got a Jesse with coughing, I think, mint on card. No, it was Jesse with Ekans, mint on card. James with coughing, mint on card. And then we've got a multi-pack that I think has like Dragonite, Mew, and like 2 other Pokemon in it. And I'm just slowly like picking those up. And they're like a nice backdrop.
Do you have any other carded Pokemon stuff? Like, will that go on the wall with something?
Just the Jesse, James, and that multi-pack.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, those are all mint on card. And
sick.
Pick them up as I see them. Maybe Andrew Retro Toy Con this November. Maybe.
Yep.
But that's a lot of pickups. And I've showed these off, but I do want to say, like, I've got a video coming of the little Blockies. And these are really cool. Like the little bases they come with. Like little
question mark.
Are those the hidden figures?
Yeah, these are from Blockies. They're like, they're Build-A-Figures. These are the small ones. And like his feet move, his arms move, his head moves.
They're the secret figures or the hidden figures?
Oh no, they're the boxes are like this. Like they tell you exactly what's in there.
Oh, okay.
So these are good, and these are like super cheap. Like you probably find them for like $5 on AliExpress. So the Pikachu's honestly the worst one. Honestly, but I'll save the rest of that for the video, because the video I did on the Charizard and Greninja is doing very well. On YouTube.
Yeah, that was the Blockies versions, right?
Yep. Yeah, the Charizard is better than the SH figure arts. It's crazy. But that's enough. I'm gonna have to find where to put all these in the collection and everything. Usually I try to have a spot in mind for everything. So, but it's an ever changing backdrop behind me over here, as I'm always trying to fit new shelves into this room. But guys, before we get into any news, before we get into the main topic, Andrew, I believe you have a Star Wars fact of the day for us.
Mhm.
And of course, what we love to say around here is, Anakin may lie to you, but Andrew would never.
No one can kill a Jedi.
I love
Almost
it.
classic.
I love it. So,
Yeah.
Andrew, what is your Star Wars fact of the day, my friend?
Star Wars fact of the day is Star Wars Episode 6, which was the third movie at the time. When it was about to be released, George Lucas had named it Revenge of the Jedi. But got to thinking, revenge is not the Jedi way, so it was changed to Return of the Jedi. But I also heard something else that I think might be true. Depends on how you look at it. Bunch of Revenge of the Jedi stuff just sitting in a warehouse, I'm sure. And I'm sure George Lucas is selling it on eBay for a high price. I mean, I'm sure he's got some sort of addiction he's got to fuel.
Wow.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Confirmed, actually. Confirmed, everybody.
His eBay name is Watto's Shop.
I have seen there is like Revenge of the Jedi merch, like jackets and stuff that float around that are legit that I
Yep.
guess got leaked out. I think a lot of it was probably given to producers, right, Andrew? Like before the
Could be.
the big push of the movie came out. But
That
yeah,
logo looks like the Lion King to me. Isn't that like the typeface and the color gradation?
Oh, the font?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
pretty close,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, I don't see Pride Rock in Vader's helmet, but I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, the typeface definitely does look like Lion King. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bar
both
on
did
top
star
and
James Earl
bottom.
Jones. So
Maybe it was originally
Yeah.
supposed to be called The Lion King or Revenge of the Lion King.
Revenge
yeah.
of Mufasa. There we
Right.
go.
At least
That's
they
what we
didn't
need.
use papyrus.
Nice. That's I have seen, Andrew, or people have seen, like, I've seen videos, where people have found Revenge of the Jedi stuff. And they're like, no, this is fake. What in the world is this?
Yeah.
But I guess that's why he, kind of looped back around and used like Revenge of the Sith later for what was it, episode 3?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
3, yeah.
So the more you know. Need the more you know graphic right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for this
That's not
segment.
copywritten, right?
Ah, there's no
Can't
way.
be.
All right.
Never.
No way.
Okay.
Domain. Like, what is it?
There
Public
we
domain?
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For use.
But
Mm.
David, do we have a disappointing David this week?
Yeah, actually playing off of
Okay.
Andrew's fact of the day. Disinformation being spread on YouTube.
Okay,
is
hold on.
what
Let me
disappoints David.
He said,
Okay.
hold on.
David, you're saying it makes you feel very
Disappointed!
This kind of plays into some toy news that we discovered, we got word of recently. But I'm not going to name specific YouTubers, but there are some clickbaity YouTubers out there who
Dan who?
who claim to have sources and but they'll post a video that says, take this with a grain of salt. Like, I heard, and there's rumors that, and there's speculation that this Batman Returns wave has been canceled. And then 7 days after that video goes up, the Batman Returns wave is revealed at WonderCon for McFarlane. So I saw then another video posting about the reveals at WonderCon, and in the thumbnail is the Batman Returns wave that just 7 days ago you reported was canceled from sources that you heard. So, I just, if you're gonna speculate or guess at what's going on behind the scenes in toy companies, just say that. Don't report it as like facts and real news, because it was a week that you got disproven. So, just we have a platform here. We have access to a lot of eager, eager minds and open ears waiting to like find out the next news. So there's a lot of with great power comes great responsibility. So let's, be more mindful of how we're putting information out there into the internet space, because you're just lying. You're lying for clicks. Disappoints
Who
me.
would do that?
Exactly.
Terrible.
Yeah, so
I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to drive traffic to such a channel. But
you heard it here first, folks. The leak isn't true. The wave's not coming out. It's been canceled. Okay, so just don't worry about it. But then again, what do I know?
I'm not a smart man.
There we go. So thank you, David. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Only a little.
Disappointed!
There we go. Just a little disappointed, David. So there has been a insane amount of news. So we're just going to speed round through all this so we can get into our main topic. But I'm okay with going over all this news because it ties into the main topic on how the hell are we going to afford all this stuff? Besides maybe, I mean, you don't need 2 kidneys, right?
I was going to say, like, each of us has 2 kidneys. So, like, if you can live on one, then all of us have at least one resource to mine.
When you think about it, I've got 2 kids, and they've both got 2 kidneys. So
brilliant. I don't have any kids.
Again,
so
okay,
at least
for legal purposes, for legal purposes, YouTube, I'm 100% joking. I do not condone taking kidneys from children. Toys maybe, but not kidneys. Okay,
Your own children.
So
someone else's children is fine.
No, I don't care about those random kids. Whatever. Yeah. Hey, you want a cuppy? You want a cuppy? Just 1 kidney. There you go. Okay. So
for the
let's get into
low
this
price of 1 kidney, you can get a free cuppy.
So we're gonna speed round through some of this. I do have some tabs open too, because of course I couldn't fit everything in one slideshow. So I think we've all been wondering, when the heck is Tony the Tiger going to drop? Come on now. Come on, Jada. It was over a year ago when they showed him off. I get it. We got to be patient with Jada. They're a smaller company. And when they do release something, it's a banger. So, I'm complaining that it took so long. But at the same time, it's okay. They could have took, another couple months and I would have complained. But I'm happy about this. Look at everything he comes with. You got the swirly effect for the basketball, spoon hands, a cereal box, a cereal bowl. Look at this articulated Tony the Tiger. In what world did we ever think we were going to be getting a fully articulated 6-inch Tony the Tiger? So I'm definitely getting this. I pre-ordered mine. You guys, David, are you getting Tony the Tiger?
I definitely want to get it. I didn't pre-order it yet. But I have to get it. I mean, the face looks like it's ripped right off the television screen animation. Looks so good. I'm glad it is up for pre-order. I don't know. I feel like I got Chester Cheetah in my comic book store.
Probably.
So I think I'm gonna, and I know I got Frankenberry and Count Chocula in the comic book store. So I think I'm gonna wait and see it live and get it live in the comic book store. But
it'll eventually be probably up on Amazon too, I would think, like some of the others have went. So he'll be widely available.
He's great.
Great. Andrew, is Tony the Tiger gonna reel you in here?
I think so. I mean, I like Frosted Flakes. I mean, who doesn't? So why not have a little Tony the Tiger sitting there with the cereal box in the kitchen?
In the kitchen. I will say the only downside is I believe the price point on this, tying in the main topic, is what I saw on BBTS is $29.99. So we're seeing that price increase, right? I don't know if that is a Big Bad Toy Store thing with the price or if that is a Jada suggested retail price. Big Bad notoriously does raise their prices by like $1. But again, getting in the main topic, Big Bad has also raised the pre-order price, like of a lot of the new G.I. Joes that went up by a couple more bucks. So who knows if this does hit Amazon, it might be that 24 or 25 Who knows? We won't know till we see it. It was also on Entertainment Earth, and if I was a more, professional YouTuber, I would have checked that price before going live. But, but also with Entertainment Earth, you're gonna be paying like $15 in shipping. So, so there we go. Alexi,
Brian Merchant says that he's sorry, but Frosted Flakes sucked. But you
Oh.
don't have to eat the cereal in order to buy the toy. I'm just
there we go. There we go.
Right.
Brian, when I get mine in hand, I'll lick it and I'll let you know if it tastes like Frosted Flakes. So it might be for you, it might not. Okay, but yeah, Frosted Flakes was never a thing for me. I was a peanut butter crunch, Fruit Loops, Cocoa Puffs, and
you're ready for Toucan Sam and
yeah, man.
Yeah.
the cuckoo bird from Cocoa Puffs.
Give me a Captain Crunch, man.
And Captain Crunch. Yeah.
But Alexi, what do you think about Tony here?
I actually read recently that Jada Toys is in talks to get the likeness for the cock off the cornflakes box.
Nice.
So I imagine that's what Brian Merchant is waiting for.
Yeah.
Don't
let him spread lies about you, Brian Merchant. Don't let him
or the Trix rabbit would be a good one as well.
Oh yeah, that would be good. I can see that possibly being the next one.
And put it with Captain Carrot.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
We
go.
need the Honey Smacks frog as well.
The Honey Smacks frog. Hell yeah.
Diggum. I think his name is Diggum.
Diggum, yeah. He had like a gravelly voice too.
I don't remember.
Brian says saw an interview June did at WonderCon that he said Jada figures are going up by about $5 each. Okay, so that's interesting that it was only $29.99 on BBTS, and they didn't also put it up by their general increase by $1 or $2.
Yeah,
get those pre-orders in before they correct that and go up to like $32.99. So it's like Tony has that covered. Oh yeah, with the
that particular photo is a little
man,
problematic.
I did not see that. Okay, so let's go on. So staying with Jada, I was not expecting this. We got Rankin Bass Frosty the Snowman here. And hopefully this means I'd be down for a Rankin Bass Santa, or who was it? The two Elemental brothers.
Oh, Heat Miser, and
Cold Miser.
Yeah.
I'd be down for those. And this packaging, oh, that's awesome. I'm all down for this. I'm 100% in for this. If we don't get
Santa like the lumberjack kind of Santa?
I think so.
Yeah.
But even if we don't get him, this will go perfectly. Andrew, you can agree with me, right next to that fresh Monkey Fiction Santa.
That's what I'm thinking.
Perfect.
Along with my Star Wars Christmas figures.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. And he comes with a little, I don't remember the bunny rabbit's name if it had a name, but he'll go over there next to Captain Carrot as well. So perfect.
A rabbit shelf.
Yeah.
Yes.
David, are you down for Frosty?
I might be. I feel like this is something I'd need to see in person and be like, oh yeah, I gotta buy this. Like it's not something I would probably seek out or I would have ever asked for them to make. But like if I came upon this in a comic book store, it would be hard to resist this.
Brian, I don't think saying Frosted Flakes don't taste good deserves that. Brian, I think Alexi owns stock in Frosted Flakes in Kellogg's, so that might be it. He took it personal.
I'm sorry, Brian. I apologize.
What's the meme? It's like, and I took that personal. There we go.
Well, John Morrissey, I can get a plastic cock. I hear that you can have only 6 in Texas. Wow. This whole stream just went way off center. Yeah.
Man, the chat. Oh my gosh. I can't even reference it all going through. But Andrew, you down? You down for Frosty?
I think so. I mean, what's the price point? Do we know?
Oh,
probably 30.
Probably not.
Probably 30.
Oh,
I would say no less than 30, hopefully no more than 35.
Yeah.
It does come with a lot.
That's
I mean, it
big
comes with
money.
extra parts. So
Yeah.
I would say
I'm-
40. I would say 40.
As long as this is no
But-
more than 40, I could justify it. I would rather this be closer to 30, 35.
You mean you
But-
wouldn't pay the same as a Maximum Spider-Man for this?
Oh, I'm not going to pay the maximum Spider-Man price for maximum Spider-Man. I'm not playing for maximum Frosty.
Maximum
The
I
most
mean, he comes
Frosty
with a
we've ever
lot.
gotten.
He comes with a
He
whole other
does.
character and
This-
a broom and a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal.
You know what? This is like a better layout than what came with Maximum Spider-Man.
Web sperm not
You
included.
get a whole nother character. Get a whole nother character here. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. All those extra hands, the scarf, the hat. That's an
Is
extra
that a
head
bendy
in
wire
there.
scarf? It's
I
soft
don't
goods.
know.
Probably not.
But actually, speaking of that though, and Jada, isn't the Vega figure from Street Fighter have a bendy wire sash belt? Did you guys see that?
I didn't see that.
I didn't.
He was posed with the new wave of Street Fighter with Jada at WonderCon, and it looks like they posed his belt sash as like flowing with the bendy wire.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's the only thing the Street Fighter line's missing is soft goods. Just insane.
well,
How much
they did a bendy wire cape for M Bison.
Oh, they did. I forgot
Yep.
about that. I've
Yep.
got him at
Yeah.
the back of the Street Fighter shelf too.
Yeah,
They did. And Mike Heck says, wasn't the rabbit named Topper? That sounds right. That sounds right. Oh, Z-Man, gotta go all. Gotta wake up. Celebration. Oh, well, thank you for being here with us, Z-Man. You go get some rest, bud. Catch us on the replay. All right. Okay, so Alexi, are you down for Frosty? You down for a little bit of
This is it's gonna seem cold hearted, but I'm not down for Frosty. I do like everything about it, and the packaging as well, like the TV, like you guys said, the big accessory pack out. Even if you're an inbox collector, this would be really cool to have on the shelf. But I don't have space in this I don't have space in my budget for this, and I don't have space in my collection for this.
and this
but I
is
do
why
like it.
this is why all the Christmas magic is going. Thanks,
Yep.
Alexi. Thanks a
Sorry.
lot.
Alexi hates
I know.
Christmas. You heard it here first.
Mm.
Well, I heard a rumor that Alexi hates Christmas.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh,
Can't confirm. Take it with a grain of salt, but
there we go. I
salt.
saw someone talk about weeb shit. So here's some weeb shit that we're getting into here.
I'm gonna go
SH
reach for my
Figure Arts, as you know, SH Monster Arts they've done Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Elemental Hero Flame Wingman, Revoltex doing some Yu-Gi-Oh figures. We've got just more articulated Yu-Gi-Oh figures than we've ever gotten. They put up this teaser of Yami Yugi right here in not the Monster Arts line, of course, just they said it's the start of the SH Figure Arts line. So I assume that the monsters, big or small, because Dark Magician's coming out here soon, supposed to be in April. And he's like more human size. So those are all going to stay in the Monster Arts, and the Figure Arts should be just duelists, I'm guessing. So we're going to get Yugi, hopefully a Kaiba, a Joey, a Pegasus, and just keep it going. Hope they come with cool accessories. This is the only picture I've seen. Hopefully some cards from the hold, a dual disc, and oh, David's back. Okay, I can keep talking about it. But yeah, I'm really excited about this.
Looks great.
Oh yeah. Anybody else care? No, but no, I'm not gonna waste anybody's time. No.
Sorry,
That's
I'm
good.
usually with you on the weeb shit, but I actually didn't watch Yu-Gi-Oh.
Whoa.
I think we have some Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the house though, because Amanda has a small collection.
Oh, well, she's now my favorite instead of you, Alexi. Okay. So, there
She'll
we
be
go.
on next week.
There we go. Also, now this is big news. So, any Dragon Ball fans like collect SH Figure Arts, notoriously, the perfect cell figure from SH Figure Arts sucks. It's terrible. It's too small. The proportions are weird. The colors are off. So a lot of people like me keep the Dragon Stars, the $20 figure, as their cell in their collection, and it just looks better. It's not as good. It's a little glossy, and the pin has got pins and everything. So you keep it in the back of the collection, but it looks better than the old SH Figure Arts. this is a new, third party, the RR Studios. This is the first figure they're doing. This pre-order went up on places like 5K Toys, AliExpress. This is the deluxe version that comes with these like extra clip-on pieces, these extra parts where he had like limbs missing. But I believe if you just cut out this top layer right here, the base version comes with almost everything, maybe a few less faceplates. I'm getting the base version. It comes with, I'm getting the base version of the anime color, which is right here. There's also the manga color, which is a little different color scheme. And I went ahead and pre-ordered mine off AliExpress from a store I've used a few times before. I'm really excited about this. It looks good. It looks really good. Hopefully it turns out good. Alexi, do you Dragon Ball?
I do Dragon Ball, but I don't collect any of the figures. It's just there's too many to start from
Yeah.
nothing, and it's such a slippery slope. But I am aware of the significance of a new Perfect Cell, like you said, because the SH Figure Arts one is well known in the community to suck. But what I'm interested in is why this is from RR Studio and not like Demoniacal Fit or like Kong Studios or one of like the normal third-party Dragon Ball
I'm
producers.
curious because you know how all these companies operate, where it's like, oh, these people split off from like Demoniacal Fit and went and
Mhm.
started one of the other ones. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's almost like the same people moving around doing it, and maybe legal reasons. This might be one of those other companies just under a new banner doing it. I will
Yeah.
say proceed with caution because we've never gotten anything from this named company before. You can either way,
Right.
it's a risk. If you pre-order it, you might get it, and I can't guarantee the quality will be great because we don't know. So you could wait and see how it is when people get it in hand, but then I can't guarantee that it'll still be available anywhere. So
And just to be clear, 19 centimeters is 7.548 inches, but 7.5 inches. So
yeah.
he will be pretty good size.
Oh yeah, which he should be. He was big. He was really tall, and that's to the
Yeah.
top of his helmet there.
The face
So
plates too, like those are great.
I will say proceed with caution. Don't say Justin told me to go buy this. If you want it, if you're willing to take the risk to buy it and pre-order it, do it. If you would rather risk not being able to get it later and waiting till people get it in hand, you might pay a little more. I don't know. You can wait. It's up to you. I jumped on this. I'm very excited, very excited. And we're almost done with the weeb shit. This is Blockies. So I'm super excited. First of all, on the right, they're doing a Powerpuff Girl line. If you go back to our most wanted like cartoon figures episode, Powerpuff Girls was one of mine. So hopefully these are more in the vein of their Pokemon figures and less like the little mystery box Transformers. Oh, they don't want me to say, they don't want anyone to say mystery box. My bad. Special secret figures,
hidden figures,
they're hopefully these
obstructed
are
plaything devices.
hopefully these are more in the vein of like these Pokemon figures. They snap together. They don't want to say model kits, build a figures, whatever. I'm excited to see what those will look like. And over here on the left, I've got Pokemon up. That's because someone on Instagram pointed out to me that they snuck this picture out, leaking the second wave of the little figures. So you can see there's a Bulbasaur, a Squirtle, a Slowpoke. Let's see. I can't remember his name. Charcadet, Munchlax, and Scorbunny. So no news on the next. So these are the small ones are going to be waves of 6, and the big ones are going to be waves of 4. No news on the next wave of 4 big ones, but I'm excited about that. And Alexia, you probably have something to say about this. Are you in the know of the InArt 1/12 scale Batman figure?
Yeah, I've actually been following the build up and release of this figure for a little over a year now. They showed prototypes at a show in Japan a little over a year ago, and so we got to see this figure. We also got to see the Anne Hathaway Catwoman from the Dark Knight trilogy. They've also shown off Arkham from the Arkham game series, Arkham Origins Batman, and they've shown off from the Dark Multiverse, Dark Knight's Metal. They've shown off Batman Who Laughs. They've shown off his
Oh,
mix with Doomsday. I don't remember what it is, as well as like the Batman Green Lantern from Dark Knight's Metal. They all look really detailed, and they just had an embargo on reviews. They sent out a ton of copies to different YouTubers across the community. And so recently, a lot of the reviews have gone up, and everyone is pretty unanimous in that it's a good figure. There are some drawbacks, like the magnetic cape attachment is a little fussy, but he's a little small because he's like a perfect one or a true 112 scale is what they say. The
okay.
craziest thing, in my opinion, about this figure is if you can find it on an import site, it's only $51 for the base, and then it's 69 nice dollars for the deluxe, which comes with the unmasked head and then a few other accessories. So it's it's priced really reasonably for what it is, because it's essentially an import figure. In art, the company themselves, they're more known for doing 1/6 scale figures. So that's kind of where the insane detail on the face stems from, is because it's like a really detailed, shrunken down 1/6 sculpt. I tried to find it. It went up for pre-order on the 28th, which was yesterday, in Japan time at I think 6 or 8 p.m. So it should be on sites. I tried yesterday afternoon to find one on one of the import sites that I usually use, but I could not. There are some other sites. It's not even on 5K Toys or anything. So I'm still
Okay.
looking, but I do understand that pre-orders are out there and open. Oh,
Nice.
Nerdzoic has it for sure, but I
Oh
haven't
yeah,
seen what he has it
it's
priced at.
it's high. It's higher because I guess he's paying that import. It's
Yeah,
I believe it's closer to like 90 on his
I'll
site.
pull it up right now.
Yeah,
Closer to
which I mean that's
90?
what it's going to be on like
Yeah,
American sites, basically.
BBTS or something.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
tariffs, man. Those tariffs.
They'll
This
get
this
you.
looks awesome. And if you can get it on an import site, you're looking at maximum Spider-Man money right there. That's
That's the comparison that people, wow, it's already completely sold out on Nerdzoic.
wow.
That,
Put people on it, man.
again, we've talked about this before. That could mean that he only ordered three of each or five of each. If he's selling, I mean, if we do a little bit of math here, the tariffs kick in at anything over $800. So he would have had to order $800 worth to get hit by the tariffs and thus raise the price that much more.
Yeah.
So both tiers are sold out. It was 92.99 for the base and 112.99 for the deluxe, which is a pretty basic import price on an American
Yeah.
site, like you said.
That's right up there with like a SH a bigger SH Figure Arts release or like a Mafex release, right? So yeah, looks great, man. I'm hands off on it, but it looks great. Like right now, like McFarlane's got me by the balls having all the other Batmen. So I want all my Batmen to match height wise. So yeah. But yeah, this looks great. Looks great. Let's see here. Who do we have next? Who do we have next? Oh, sticking with
Hey.
Batman. The wave that will not be hitting summer of
I'm gonna get a drink.
2025 uh will definitely not be hitting the Batman Returns wave. And I do want to say we were talking about this. Were we on air when we were talking about this, David? And saying, "Oh, we hope it comes with like the penguins."
Well, yeah.
And
So this was our McFarlane, what he should do before he's done with
mm,
stream. We talked about this was one of my things. Batman Returns. We talked about Max Shrek, but and let's wait. All right. I'm sorry. I got to back up for a second. So this is they label this a theatrical deluxe edition. So I'm presuming there's going to be more included than what's shown right here. These are like the base offering
talk
figures.
show pet.
So I take it with a grain of salt, but I'm sure Penguin will have a coat, a soft goods coat to go over this figure. I think the Max Shrek show like is that it's like a plastic overcoat. Like I think that's why it's like depicted that way in the photo, like the rendering. And the Penguin probably would have like a soft goods removable coat. But we talked about Max Shrek. I would love, I'm gonna put it out there again. I want to manifest this: a charred out face from the taser electrocution at the end of the movie, a swappable head, so that he's like completely like eyes bugged out, charred out. Amazing. We talked about Catwoman maybe having a torn up mask head or an unmasked head from when she takes the mask off at the end.
Yeah, that's what Rush is saying.
Yes, Rush. We need Battle Damage Catwoman variant, maybe a platinum chase with the crazy hair sticking out of the mask and whatever. I still want like a sewer dwelling onesie penguin, like like the dirty, like what is it? What was it? Arctic World that he like had his base of operations in.
I think so.
Abandoned Arctic World.
And
Brian Merchant, I don't believe the penguins are that big. I think it's going to be a 3-pack. They're going to be scaled to what they look like in the movie.
Be like hip height, right?
Maybe yeah, I would say like I think there'll be 3 different sizes. Like, but I think the biggest one is going to be like hip height for Danny DeVito penguin. Because they were big and small and medium in the scenes. So they weren't all the same size.
How many packs of penguins are you in for, David? They come in 3
God!
packs?
Well, the thing is, I like that they're all three. They all 3 look like different sizes. They all 3 look like individual looking penguins, and they have different like gear. So if the gear is like customizable and like removable or swappable, I might have to get like two or 3 packs and just shift over, like put a missile on another one's back or something. Like it could be cool. I don't know. But then also rumored was a motorized duck vehicle, but take it with a grain of salt because, apparently this wave was canceled, but they just revealed it at WonderCon. So due in summer 2025, the glory that is Batman Returns. I was just so nervous. Like I would only have movie figures of the Schumacher movies and like just Batman from the Burton movies. And now we have like a much fuller cast. The only thing I was talking to my cousin Craig Smith, nostalgic dot collections. Don't forget the dot.
Craig.
That like Jack Nicholson Joker is like the last standing thing that like we would all love to complete this unique character selection from the Burton Schumacher movie series.
We'll get a Jokerized version.
Right. Oh God, could you imagine? But there was also a rumored wave of Nicholson Joker in several outfits and a Vicky Vale and a Bob the Goon figure, and that was also reported as canceled. But from the same person that said this was canceled. So who knows? There might still be hope.
That means it's guaranteed to be coming out.
You never know. You never know.
Good friend of the channel, Mark Tat Toys says, looking at this wave, I remember those Kenner figures from the 90s. Good times.
So
Mark, so there is at our local toy store, Andrew, I don't know if it's still there, but Kenner did a 3-pack of penguins and he had one on card. Now that this is coming out, I kind of want to go back and get that and just to have little tiny ones in with these too, like just multiple different sizes. I wonder if that could work. Because those are smaller, but some penguins are really small, man. So I might go back and get those now. Damn.
Didn't the
you
Kenner
mean the
Max
Kenner,
Shrek
the original
come...
Kenner Penguin Commandos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have sets. I have like 7 of those.
Oh my gosh.
Open. There was a gray one with like the wings out, and then the black one that was just kind of standing there. And I have 7 of those collectively.
Danny DeVito is Penguin.
True. Totally true. Facts. Facts. Collecting Rush. Wait. This is the big question for David. Will McFarlane release the Duckmobile? He must. He has to. He's done every Batmobile from every movie. You cannot do this wave and not also release the motorized duck vehicle with the little levers and gears and shit. Like, I would love if there was like the expandable, you know, when he blows into the ballroom and like the duck raises up through the floor and it's like that
Yes.
crisscross hinge, like
And he's holding the
lever
baby.
system. What's that, Alexi?
He's holding the baby when he rises up out of the.
Yes. So yeah, we need the duck. The wing of the duck flips up for him to step out of the thing. Like, there's so much they can do with this. And the duck boat actually had lights in it in the movie. You know?
Ooh, yeah.
So
The chat's
We need-
loving this wave. Chi Chi Collect says the decision to release a penguin with each figure is perfect. That would be amazing. Is that the rumor, Chi Chi?
Oh, I don't know.
If one of these penguins was with each figure, except maybe Batman, because let's be honest, they probably packed Batman by himself.
Right.
If one of these penguins came with each one of these figures, that'd be amazing. I'm down for a pack-in. I'm down for a 3-pack. Hell, do a pack-in and a 3-pack. Down
It
for
makes
it all.
sense to pack them with the figures though, because I think that maybe, you know, a 3-pack is kind of like hit or miss. Like, either people are going to go all in for it because they love the movie, or they'll skip it because they're like, oh, I don't need the penguins, you know. But that would make sense to like give a different penguin to each.
Yeah, that would make it so easy to army build if they're packed in and a 3-pack. Oh gosh, see, I don't know. It's I hope there's at least a 3-pack available and they're not just packed in.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want them to just be packed in and there not be like a multi-pack, because then it's hard to. You'd have to buy duplicates of the figures and then sell them off and everything to army
or build. If the theatrical deluxe figures have like alternate heads or face plates, you could have a Catwoman with the torn mask and the hair sticking out, and a pristine Catwoman, and still get a penguin with each. So depends on the options of like customizing your display of them with how many heads or, you know, hands and expressions they come with.
I'm waiting for the Jokerized penguin 3-pack. JPPM says, Todd, if I'm correct, said the penguins would be their own thing.
That's so cool.
Toy Shiz had the McFarlane stream, and Todd said that's how they would be released instead of a Build-A-Figure for this wave. Oh, as pack-ins instead. Okay. Well, we'll see eventually. But
see how easy it is for all these different opinions online to create confusion as to what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the breakout news for me. I needed to talk about this week. This is everything. I posted on my story on Instagram, like, the rest of, until this is out, my year is going to be about building up to this. And once I have this, my year will be about coming down from having this. So this is the pinnacle. This is the peak for me for 2025.
It's all downhill from here.
This is it.
All downhill from there, David.
And then Justin's pinnacle.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Summer of 2025. We're talking about this, David. This gives us hope for maybe 2 more waves before mid 2026. Like I said before, by the release schedule, we should have, in theory, 2 to 3 more waves. The only thing that worried me, and thinking maybe 1 to 2 instead, was how long the Bruce Wayne Build-A-Figure waves taken to come out. I know there was a flip-flop where it was supposed to be wave 3 and it flipped with wave 4 and it became wave 4. But even after that, it's still been a while since we got what was the Build-A-Figure? The Maxi Zeus?
Maxi Zeus.
It's been a while since we got that. But at first glance, I hated the Batman in this wave. Looking at it again, at least if this is correct, at least this isn't the ab crunch mold that he keeps using. At least this is what I consider, in my opinion, the better Batman mold without the ab crunch, which chips the paint. I like this mold better. So this is, I don't want another Batman in a wave because it's taking up a slot, but this is a tribute to the Kenner, the regular Kenner Batman figure. I believe it's the most expensive one on the aftermarket to go back and find. I think he was the grapple hook Batman, and he was more like, instead of the lightning strike or all these different colors, he was more of like the mind's eye color from the animated series. So this is a tribute to that. It's the more kind of bluish look. Gray Ghost is awesome. Just one episode, right? Right, guys? He was just in one episode, which
Yeah.
is the theme with the Build-A-Figure here that we'll get to. Ra's al Ghul was a big part of the animated series, as well as Killer Croc. I don't remember how many episodes they were in, but reoccurring villains. When you think of Batman's Rogues Gallery, those two guys, Ra's and Killer Croc, are right there in the Rogues Gallery. Maybe more Killer Croc. Ra's is usually working by himself, but Killer Croc's in like one of my favorite episodes where they're all sitting around the poker table talking about the
threw a
time
rock
I
at
almost
him.
got him. Yeah,
It
Almost
was
got
a
him.
big rock.
That's actually
favorite
Killer
episode.
Croc from the episode, so it's actually Batman disguised as Killer Croc. Sorry,
There's
Justin.
two
It's another
Batman in
Batman.
this way.
It's
Spoiler
another
alert.
Batman.
Also, spoilers, Alexi. Spoilers
Sorry.
on like a 30-year-old show. Damn it. But man, I'm excited. I'm excited. And the Build-A-Figure. We've speculated before on what the Build-A-Figures could be very recently. I feel like, and I don't think anybody called out Jonah Hex. This is a deep cut, just one episode. I remember liking the episode. I remember it being very different. It was a different episode, right? I can't remember the context.
Well,
But-
The Jonah
I
Hex episode?
Yeah.
wasn't it a flash? I thought it was a flashback. Like
It's
Right.
so it's Batman trying to solve a mystery in the beginning, and it leads him to a retirement home where he encounters like a really old person in a wheelchair, and then it goes to a flashback of this story of Jonah Hex where he stops like a local baron who was trying to get an airship off the ground to completely like destroy an area. And so the episode is about Jonah Hex stopping that from happening. And then at the end of the episode, it goes back to present day, and you learn that, not gonna spoil it again, suckers. You do learn something about Jonah Hex and the person that he came to find at the retirement home, but watch the episode to find out. So if that, hopefully that jogged your guys' memory enough to remember. No?
No, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
All right, Jesus Christ. Jonah Hex is Ra's al Ghul's son.
Oh,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
makes sense with Roz on the the wave.
So at the end of the episode, Roz shows up to the retirement home, and it turns out that the mystery thing that Roz was doing, that Batman was trying to figure out, was just going to get his son before he died from the retirement home.
Oh, I don't remember
yeah.
that at all. I want to
Yeah.
go back and watch
It's
that
a great
now.
episode. It's a cool episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think-
I'm not a cowboy fan in general,
Mm.
which is ironic because I'm homosexual. But yeah, and then I'm not like a fan of like flashback period storytelling, and I never really cared for Jonah Hex as a concept in the comic books. But as for a Batman animated series fan who also likes DC, this could be a good way to expand out like your animated DC universe beyond Batman Beyond, to other characters that you wouldn't normally see. Like if they did re-release the Zatanna figure that appeared in the animated series, that kind of expands the world out as well. So I like that it's an option for the DC fan and the Jonah Hex fans out there. I will probably build a figure. But he'll stand the way back of my shelf.
Yeah. I think the Gray Ghost is going to be the hardest one to get because that's like the only Gray Ghost we've ever gotten. Did they do one in the original line? Do you guys know?
I think so, yeah.
I haven't.
Oh, okay. So this is a reissue of that.
Yeah. It looks like it's a lighter gray color than the one that I have, but
hopefully no cell shading.
Well, does it look like there?
It doesn't look.
Like
I don't see
Roz.
any cell shading.
It looks like Roz's pants have cell shading.
Okay. I mean, some of the original ones had a little bit, but it was never egregious. It wasn't like Wave 1 and 2 McFarlane re-release egregious. So,
Guys, you don't have to wait for this wave to come out to get Gray Ghost. You can go over to eBay right now and get one for a cool $220.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, so don't even wait on this.
So who are we missing past this that's like essential? Penguin. We need Penguin. Mad Hatter.
Penguin, Mad Hatter, the ventriloquist in Scarface,
Yeah. I would want Zatanna.
Talia, Zatanna. The
Gosh.
Never Made is Red Claw.
Mhm.
Baby doll in this version of the animation was never done.
We need Dick Grayson in his,
Classic
civilian
Dick.
attire.
Classic
to
Dick.
go with Bruce that
Yeah.
we're getting as a Build-A-Figure.
Might as well do. They did a Commissioner Gordon, so you might as well do a Barbara in civilian
Yeah.
because she
And
appeared like that for a while.
I want them to re-release Harvey Bullock in a Build-A-Figure wave too, or just single pack. Do
Didn't
Harvey
they
Bullock
release
as a
him
Best
again
Buy
recently?
exclusive. He was in that 4-pack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and I already had all the other figures that were in that the other 3 figures in that 4-pack, so I skipped on it. So it was like $120. So
Yeah.
There's a Renee Montoya mold that's not been reused yet.
Well, and Alexi, before the stream started, me and David were saying that it gives us hope too that he gave Clayface to Best Buy as an exclusive outside of these Target exclusive waves.
Mhm.
So maybe like Harvey Bullock re-release as a Best Buy exclusive, like single pack.
I don't think they'll do him on his own. Like I don't think he was major
He needs
enough.
to be in a Build-A-Figure wave.
But like I could see Man Bat at Best Buy.
Oh yes, good
like-
call, David.
Yeah.
Even like if he wanted to make space in a wave for other figures, he could do Penguin as like a standalone for like Amazon or Best Buy.
Yeah.
That would sell perfectly by itself. But yeah, I'm excited about this. Keep these coming. Squeeze out 3 more waves, Todd. Squeeze out
do
3.
a fall wave, do a January, February, winter release wave. You get 2 more waves, 2 extra Build-A-Figures, golden.
Hopefully. Andrew, you're the only one of us that Star Wars is. Alexi does a little bit. I've got a very small shelf. They revealed like 6 figures. What do you have to say about these 6 figures, Andrew?
So, like I was saying earlier, I think the Carson Teva in the PVC.
I will pretend I know who that is.
Top right.
Top right. That guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Dude man? Right here?
Yeah.
Bam.
I kind of wish they would do that in the Black Series. That way it can go with my George Lucas Stormtrooper. I want to get the Jon Favreau Paz Vizsla and the Dave Filoni Trapper Wolf figure. Because all of those are Black Series, but they left Carson Teva into the vintage collection. So
you got to think eventually, right? Eventually.
The Night Trooper right below him is probably something I want to pick up.
Is that vintage?
That's gonna be Black Series.
That's Black Series.
Okay.
Fun fact: the Mafex troopers that I showed off a few shows ago, the Death Troopers. This is the zombie version of that.
Yep.
From the Ahsoka show.
He's got the busted helmet, and you can kind of see the zombie face underneath it.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So, this is probably going to be, it's part of a wave. So that $24.99, I have to assume this is a lot of new sculpt, more than like that, No Way Home Electro that for some reason is a $40 figure. But
Yeah. Well, the prices have went up. Unfortunately.
What's the price?
Like $27.99. So it went up $3.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How about the exclusive, the Celebration exclusive from Black Series? Did you see that?
I did. It
Andrew?
Looks pretty good. I never really
black and white?
watched the Visions series, but
Is that on
I mean, that one looks pretty cool.
Yeah, we did watch Visions, and that was like the first episode of the first season. It does look like a really cool figure. I don't do it enough to like try to chase it down because it is an event exclusive in Asia.
Yeah.
$70 it's steep for an event exclusive, and they did like a whole exclusive packaging and stuff for it, and it has a lot of like art on the inside of the box and an open flap. So I think for what it is, $70 isn't terrible, but there's no way that you're going to get it for $70 in the US without attending the event.
I think it's on Toy Arc.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Did you? Oh, you guys like
Very.
Star Wars at all, David or Justin? No.
I have a
Okay, so you
very
didn't
small
see
Star Wars
Visions.
shelf.
Yeah, that's okay. Maybe it'll grow.
It's very very small. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Did they reveal it on stream?
I don't remember. Oh, it got revealed the same day those Mafex reveals, or
Oh, I just saw
maybe
those.
within a couple days.
While you're looking
Yeah.
for in the chat, Rush is saying, "Did you think they would ever release Roxy Rocket?" So she was in the redesign of the animated series. So they've done re-releases of those as like I don't know McFarlane Toy Store exclusive or at GameStop. But I don't think that they would fit the rocket in that packaging, so I don't think she'd probably be re-released. And then Goon number
Yeah.
3 is asking about, is anyone going to bite on the new McFarlane Super Friends line? My guess is at least 5 waves to complete the set. Is there any way they could finish it before the license ends? So this one is kind of, it seems like it's eclipsing and replacing Batman 66 as their retro carded 5-inch,
Yeah.
6-inch limited articulation line. So I think that there will be more. I just don't know if there will be. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one, Justin. I think there will be more because I think they'll want to cover the main, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, couple more villains. I don't know if they'll go full out and get the whole Legion of Doom and the entire cast of Super Friends because that can get pretty broad with the Wonder Twins and Firestorm and Cyborg and everything. Like, I just don't know if they'll go that deep, but maybe a second or third wave of this to fill it out a little more.
Well, that new price point is probably $30. So.
Oh no! I think
I'm joking. I'm joking.
These are like $17.99 as they are right now, but going up, they'll probably go to $19.99 or $20.99 max. And I do have to shout out Kite Man. Anybody that watches the Harley animated series, Kite Man is a featured character in that, and they're making a Kite Man figure. You can see him dead center in that slide.
What gives him away?
I mean, how do you know? Yeah, that's just another one of those crazy. You never would think you'd get an action figure of this kind of thing. That I have to have those. Like, that's wild.
I don't think Mattel's going to go as deep as Todd. I don't think they'll go as deep. I mean, time will tell. Time will tell, but we'll see.
There's a lot of good stuff.
Kite Man did play a big role in the comics in the last 3 to 5 years, I believe. For the War of Jokes and Riddles, he was like a big part of that storyline.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
cool.
he has been around, and of course, like you said, David, he's a character on the Harley Quinn show, but they also gave him his own animated show, which Amanda and I watched. Is pretty fun. If you liked the Harley Quinn show, you're gonna like the Kite Man show.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So tying in, I know we're talking about a lot of reveals, but again, it ties into the topic, and we've been kind of talking about it. It's all these prices are going up. Andrew said the new Black Series price looks like it's gonna be $27.99. That's oh man, oh gosh, that hurts. So with the prices of everything going up
on CMD store, the new mini comic wave are $27.99 each, and those are like a carded figure, so a little scary.
We'll see, but the prices of everything's going up, so that's why stuff like Mythic Legions and Savage Crucible are starting to look more appealing at that. You pre-order them, you're paying like 30 something, around 40. Pay when they actually come out from like BBTS, you're paying 50. You're paying maximum series Spider-Man prices for this stuff, and you get customizers making stuff. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up. We didn't talk about this on stream last week, but we talked about it after the stream. So I do want to bring up, everyone knows I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. I want to
Chi Collects just asked about this in the chat. Did you see?
Oh, really? No, I didn't. But
so Chi says, off topic, Justin, are you going to be in for the Power Rangers Command Center, or Zord cockpits?
Oh man, Chi-Chi, I want to be. I really want to be. Huge shout out to Duarte Studios. This is a dream project. The only downside is it comes at a dream project price. So let's not talk about the price at first. I just want to these pictures. Look at the scale. Okay. So this is a Mezco Red Ranger. They scale a little bigger than Lightning Collection, just a little bit. That's huge. You get the outside of the command center right there. Let's see here. Bring up the rest of these pictures. Look at that.
Ugh.
This looks like a scene from the show.
Definitely.
500 LED lights, I believe it said. Something just fell. 500 LED lights. This is like a working, like one of those magnetic globes for the viewing globe. Just look at that, man. He got the light, like the Christmas lights in the background on like the black sheet. Just exactly what they did in the show. This is absolutely beautiful. Scrolling through, so he got everything to scale. Like he took screenshots of scenes from the show and did it all himself. The Zordon comes with two options. You can either have like a molded Zordon in there lit up, or you can have a tablet with like an AI Zordon through like an app, I guess. And that's what this is right here. Just that's the molded Zordon. For me, the molded Zordon would be fine. I don't need like a tablet to plug up. But dude, this is absolutely beautiful. This is it with the Hasbro Ninjetti Rangers. There's the Lightning Collection Alpha. The detail in all of this. And I haven't watched it yet, but I think it was somebody, he sent a copy to somebody to review on YouTube. Who was it? I'll have to look. I think it was Articulated Ninja. Got like a copy to like review on his channel. I'm gonna have to check that out. Look at this. If I were to get this, I would have to put a shelf in the middle of the room behind me so I could have it just on the shelf or on the table so I could walk around it and see both sides.
Yeah.
Because this isn't going to fit on like a regular bookshelf anyway. Look at this.
It would
41
need
inches
to be on like a standing table in the middle of the room on a lazy Susan so that you can just
Yes.
rotate it at will.
Yep.
27 inches tall, 45 inches
Wow.
wide, 41 inches
That's
in depth.
insane.
But it's the scale with like your 6-inch figures. Like, oh man, this is a dream project here. It really is. But then, and
You want to talk about that price, Justin?
again, so these are all handmade. This isn't like a company out here making this or anything. So if you want the AI Zordon, $450 deposit. If you just want the physical, the sculpted head in there, $250 deposit. The final price is $2,000 with a $250 deposit. He says you can work with him on payment plans and all that. Again, this is before shipping and taxes. So this thing is, I think I saw him on a stream say that when he ships these, he would want to ship them like on a pallet because the boxes will be huge and he doesn't want any of it to get damaged. So shipping is going to be expensive. This is going to be expensive. So I'd say at least after everything, probably $2,500. That's just my guess. We know $2,000 at least is the base price. Looking at it, man, I can't justify myself to purchase it, but knowing that it's handmade, I mean, David, we've talked about this before with, I believe it was Rick talking about making dioramas and stuff. And what is your time and labor worth? You know, you got to think the materials, everything, 500 LED lights, all of this 3D printing and all this. He's the only guy working on it. So, I mean, it comes down to like, what's your time worth?
Yeah.
And man, if I had the money, I'm telling you, I would buy this in an instant, in a heartbeat.
Chi
No
Collect
question of that.
suggests ask the missus to buy it for you for your next few birthdays and Christmas presents combined. So do you
Right.
think
Oh man.
if
There you
the
go.
Pokemon carded thing is the indicator of what Justin's wife is willing to do for his
Dude.
birthday, how many
My
birthdays
God.
do you think that this would equate to?
Mm.
Stacked on top of
A
each other.
lot. I might.
Would she give
I
you
might not
another
have time.
present before you die?
Probably not.
No.
Dude, this thing is beautiful. I just wanted to bring this up and highlight it. It is absolutely beautiful. I can't justify spending that much money on it right now, but Jesus, I wish I could. It is amazing. This is a centerpiece to a collection right here.
I mean,
Jeez, man.
this is for Power Rangers fans. This is what the dragon is for Legion's fans.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
that peak item that is the infinite play option, like display option thing that really captures and brings to life one of the most nostalgic parts of the show. Is anytime that so much shit went down in that command center.
Yes.
The every ranger went in and out of there. Lord Zed transported his throne into there once.
Yep.
That's right.
Remember? And like every power transfer from one ranger to another happened there. They watched everything happen on the viewing globe before they teleported out to, you know, have morphin time. You know, like there's just so much that went on with the command center that like this becoming a centerpiece item on a table in the middle of a room where you can like just get lost in this for hours and hours. It's a dream item for the Power Rangers fans. So like, Justin, I don't know how you have the willpower. I understand logically how you have
Right.
the willpower to not buy this.
Well, what really put a nail in the coffin was me having to fork out $1,400 on a hot water heater last week.
Oh,
So that
see?
really did it too. Yep.
Again, could have bought the dragon. You can get the dragon for less than the cost of this.
You know? Dude. Oh gosh, if I'm putting this next to the dragon, I'd go with this every day of the week.
Yeah.
You know, 8 days a week, 25 hours a day. Yeah.
You have more nostalgic attachment to that, you know, for sure.
Yes. Yeah. I would make a spot for this. Funny story when so I've talked to the wife about the dragon and everything. When I brought this up to her, I asked her, I was like, how much do you think this is? You know what her guess was?
$500.
No, she said 2,000. I was like,
Wow.
wow.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, how did you guess that? She was like, I figured it's at least worth at least 2 dragons after everything, right?
She's got an eye for value.
Monetary system scale.
Right. Right.
How many dragons is this cost?
Yeah. Which we know the dragon is $550, but you know, after you get at least one add-on and shipping and taxes and everything, the dragon is generally a $1,000 investment for people really into it, unless you're getting strictly only the dragon. But then it's at least still you're going to be paying upwards around $700. But yeah, this I love it, man. I love it.
It's beautiful. It's really.
I'm gonna have to get my own 3D printer at some point or something. Or
did you see that Duarte also has Ranger cockpits? Like
I
Zord
saw
cockpits?
that. I saw that, and you get a free one. You get a free one with this.
You get a free Ranger cockpit with the purchase of the command center.
Oh, with the command center,
and you get
color. It's worth it. Then go for it.
Yeah, you just sell the cockpit if you want
to see one of these things. I didn't know about that.
I think it's on page 3 of his. Yeah, there it is.
Oh wow,
beautiful.
So you said this is 195.
85.
185.
185. Yeah.
Huh. It looks great.
Oh,
Has-
you can get all
has
5
lights.
and get the green for free for $9.25.
Oh, so you're
Damn.
paying $1,000 essentially,
Yeah.
like shipping and tax
But
and whatever.
Right.
these open up.
It even has
I
the
think they
back
light
door.
up. Yes. Look
Love
at
a
that.
back door.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's,
Look at the console.
yeah.
I'm nerding out right now. Okay. Sorry guys.
Fully functional
Little-
LEDs, real glass bezels, adjustable seat with cloth inserts for added realism. Powered by a 9-volt battery, they're available in every Ranger color. All can be purchased separately. If you buy the original 5, you get the Green Ranger for free.
I know he said that he's got the mold he's working on to do the Megazord cockpit too eventually. And
That makes
I
Sick.
think he said
That's
then he's
sick.
going to do the White Ranger Tiger Zord one too, because that cockpit was the same size. It was like a Megazord cockpit by itself. I would spring for like the bigger, like the Megazord cockpit, and then want to reenact the scene where like the Green Ranger like literally
in.
comes in there and like breaks in and
Comes
just
in
kicks
and
them all
beats them
out.
up.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. That'd be
So
Have
how
you
about
guys
he would
seen-
probably charge $1,000 for the Megazord cockpit, right?
I don't know
I
because
mean,
it's its own
sounds
standalone
likely,
thing.
right?
If I'm putting a guess out and I don't know anything, I'd say probably around 300 because it's bigger, but it's not like it's only one thing. It's not like the equivalent of 5 of these together. You see what I'm saying?
But
I don't
space,
know.
like
I don't know.
size-wise, wouldn't it be like each
don't know.
cockpit fits
You're
one
probably right,
fit,
David.
you know?
Yeah,
I'm trying
you're
to
probably
I'm
right.
trying to stay
It's-
realistic about like because it's wild the amount of money that anybody expects us to spend on toys.
Yeah.
But it's also I think it's just fascinating that like there are fans out there that are so driven to like capitalize on the nostalgia factor, and it just shines a light on how many things toy companies are not doing
Mhm.
for the consumer, whereas like essentially the Power Rangers line as we knew it is dead, you know? So like we're not going to look to Playmates to do anything on the level and the quality of that.
Yeah.
So, but if you think about like what Lightning Collection could have done in this arena with an interior of a command center or just a cockpit that you could display the Rangers in, like it didn't need to be hyper detailed. It doesn't need to have fabric seats. It doesn't need to have like that many LEDs or like different color lights on everything. It could just be one color of the lights, you know? But like if they did that on a scale where you're getting the 5 Ranger cockpit, Megazord cockpit, and it was $125, like how many of us would have bought that, you know?
Yeah.
So, but because that's not an option for us, there are more people that are likely to go for this because this is the only thing that can kind of recapture. And he kind of timed it. Duarte timed it at the right time.
Yes.
Because everybody's moaning about what is ahead
been.
for us from Playmates, you know?
This is what the HasLabs really should be. There's
Yeah.
no reason they couldn't have done this as a Power Rangers HasLab. But I'm telling you right now, it wouldn't have looked this good.
No.
There's no way it would have looked this good. It would have been like one color for the lights,
Mhm.
and if there had even been lights, Zordon, they wouldn't have even given us a Zordon. It would have been like a plug-in to put your Lightning Collection Zordon that came with
Right.
the Alpha in it.
Right.
That isn't a very good. It's a good stand-in, but it's not a very good Zordon. It is what it is, you know. But man, Gabriel's always trying to make me spend money. But how many awesome emotional scenes went down on that control center? Can you really pass on that? You're right, Gabriel. You're right. But I did the math. I broke it down. I have to maybe I DM Duarte and be like, exactly how long could I stretch out these payment plans? Because even if like I spread it out, like after a $250 deposit and you spread it out over 12 months, that you're still looking at like, I think it was like around 160 a month or something like that. And that
I think if you're trying to stretch out the payment plan, I think Duarte's going to need like letters from your physician, your primary care physician,
Yeah,
your
Yeah.
insurance
exactly.
company, and he has to gauge how long you're expected to live, so that he can then really nail down like when you have to have these payments in by.
But remember,
Because-
David, it
Right.
wasn't a heart attack. My doctor told me it wasn't a heart attack, and my heart is in
Mm.
perfect health. Okay.
Yeah, but you're still.
That out
I mean, the fact you had it at all, there's a risk. There's a risk there. So
I don't think there's
I
a
don't know.
risk. I don't think
I
there's
don't
a
know.
risk. Super Turk 5000 with his justified membership for 2 months. 2 months, Super Turk.
Hey,
Which one would win a fight, a dragon or command center? Well, with the command center, they just call them the Megazords, the Power Rangers. I mean, I don't think a dragon stands a chance. I'm telling you.
could you imagine posing the dragon on top of the
Jesus
command center?
Oof.
Oh,
Ooh. So
Ooh.
if anybody, I know none of us are GI Joe collectors really, but I think there was a stream where they said like the HasLab Dragonfly can fit on top of this command center. Like
Wow.
that is insane to me. That is insane. What's Gabriel saying? You could be one of the
Yeah.
handful of people who own this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He
not
said
wrong.
he doesn't have a cutoff point in mind yet, but he says I think he wouldn't want to make more than like 10, maybe 15 max, but he really doesn't want to make that many.
Yeah.
You think about how much work he said, how many hours goes into building each one, because I know he's built at least 2 at this point. Because he's got one and he sent one out for I think it was Articulated Ninja to review. So that's 2 right there. So he knows how many hours it takes. I can't imagine, man. I can't imagine. At how much you spent on toys last year, it really helps put things in perspective. We don't think about those things, Gabriel, okay? We don't even think about those things. That's a bad way to think, my friend. A bad way to think. Okay.
So I did a little quick math, and after you do a $250 deposit for a $2,000 total price, it's going to be, if you wanted to pay for 1 year, you'd be paying $146 a month for a year. If you wanted to do 2 years, you'd be paying $73 a month for 2 years.
And that's
But that's
before
probably
shipping.
like your Netflix and Disney Plus combined, right?
I was gonna say, like, I probably spend that much on seamless, like, food deliveries, like in a month. You know?
Oh,
Well, now
man.
you've got a Klarna or Affirm for your DoorDash, right?
Yeah.
Right. Oh man, I really want to make it happen, but I just don't think there's a fiscal way to make it happen because because everything is getting too damn expensive. So that's like custom stuff, right? And custom stuff's always going to trend higher. But just the things we've talked about leading up to this, Andrew, you're talking about Star Wars increasing in pricing. We've talked about Big Bad Toy Store increasing in pricing. So McFarlane came out and said, well, it's going to be a 20% price increase on all their figures. Big Bad's raising prices. I don't really know what Hasbro's doing. I think in an interview, Chris Cox, everyone's favorite CEO in the toy company world, I said super sarcastically, he's got such a punchable face. Said that basically, oh, well, I don't know. I can't quote it, but we'll raise prices if we need to or whatever, or something like that. Was already talking about raising prices, which is funny because I think someone pointed out at this point, a lot of the collector lines from Hasbro aren't even made in China anymore. They're made in Taiwan, I think. So, yeah. Because, like, that's the Lightning Collection had shifted over to Taiwan. I think Transformers is in Taiwan. I don't know about Legends. David, do you have a more recent Legends? You can look at the bottom of the boot. See, made in.
It is China.
That one's China. Okay, so if Legends are still China, then yeah. And here's the thing so we really, a lot of these price increases, at what point is it because of tariffs? And what point is it, well, they were looking for an excuse to raise prices anyway? And there's rumblings that whatever, the board for toys or whatever. It sounds like a made up thing, but the last time there were tariffs or whatever institutionalized, they came forward and they got them to not apply to the toy industry because it's like, look, it's not feasible to make toys here in the US. If the whole point, and we don't talk about, politics on this channel because, oh God, I can't. If the whole point is to discourage and you want stuff made here, that's not feasible for toys. It's not feasible for the factories. We do not have that type of skill set worker force here because they've been made over there for forever. So somebody had did a timetable on how long it would take to establish that type of workforce here. It would make everything super more expensive than it is right now because of American wages. And just the skill sets that it would take to learn, it would be like a 10-year timetable for it to catch up to what we're getting now from overseas. So they basically came to the government, the people that know the best for everybody, right? They speak for all of us.
The
right
board
away.
of toys.
The board of toys
Yeah.
got it to not apply because they were like, look, it's not feasible. Like there's no point because we can't make those here. Like this is what it would take. So they didn't apply to the toy industry then.
And when was this?
I don't know. I don't know dates, David. But the hope is that they're going to the government now to try to do that again, right? To try to get it to not apply to the toy industry.
It just sounds like you're spreading a lot of vague information on the internet.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Gonna get David disappointed.
Disappointed.
You don't want to see him when he's disappointed.
So they're trying to get it overturned to basically not apply to toys, and that would be great. Fingers crossed, but we'll believe it when we see it, right? Everything's so far up in the air. We don't know what the hell's going on in this dumpster fire of a world we're living in right now. I just want to buy my toys and be happy, okay? I just want to buy my toys and be happy. Leave me alone. Here's my question. Everyone goes up on their prices, right? If it gets overturned and is not applicable to the toy industry, they don't get hit with the tariffs, do you think a Hasbro, a McFarlane, even the bigger stores like Big Bad Toy Store are going to go back and say, oh, guys, okay, don't worry about those price increases. We're reversing it. No. Absolutely not. I will go as far to say these preliminary price increases will probably, if they don't get overturned and the tariffs do hit the toy industry hard, I would say that there would be another set of price increases once they do see how it's affecting those CEOs' wallets, right? I don't think if it happens and if they stick, I don't think it stops at a 20% on McFarlane. I don't think it stops at a $3 per figure at Big Bad Toys Store.
Justin, are you just trying to incite panic and just have people like jumping out of windows right now?
I'm just saying this is my opinion. I'm just saying, man, like,
not only are they going to go up, they're going to go up again.
Well, think about it. How many price increases without tariffs have we had over the past 2 years? I mean, Marvel Legends were $19.99 a piece. We blinked, and now you're paying $40 for an Electro. I swear to God, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Oh man,
why is he a deluxe? New mold? That's that
look at all the detail.
Yeah. I'm saying you can say what you want about Todd McFarlane, right? Say what you want about his DC Multiverse line, but go look at each one of those figures. And if each one of those was $40 for being a new mold, how many of his figures would be $40 in that line? It stopped being an excuse a long time ago. And I like Marvel Legends, but man, at what I don't know. I've rambled enough. You guys give me your opinions on, are we doomed as a
Yes.
collector community?
We're all
Nice.
gonna die. It's over.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I ultimately this comes down to, and we've talked about this a lot before, our personal value system. We will pay whatever we deem worthy of paying until we are either broke, evicted, dead, or satisfied and willing to walk away from collecting. You know, yes, we can draw the line and not buy a $2,000 command center. We can draw the line and not buy a $50 Spider-Man because we have 10 other Spider-Men here that do just as much fine stuff without web sperm. But like, if the Marvel Legends retro card goes to $27.99, there will still be people buying it for $27.99.
Yes.
If it goes to $29.99, there will be people that still buy it for $29.99, and they're going to pick and choose probably and not buy all of the ones in the wave, and maybe they'll stop, buying one to keep on the card and one to open, and like, people will adjust. I'm feeling the pressure this year. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to ignore, and every new wave that's announced, and you're going to scrutinize it more for what's packed in, and we are getting less, and the prices are going up, and it's making us question our own value systems, as every wave that comes out, and that's okay. Like, but either we're gonna, like, we can bitch and moan about it, but then we can still continue to pay it, until we really, really can't anymore. And when it's coming down to choosing between, that food delivery that you haven't eaten in a day and a half, or that new wave that just went in stock on CMD, like, if once you have to make that choice, you will make the choice that you need to. But also, I'm gonna, throw it back to you, like, for you, Justin, when you hit your age, your midlife crisis age, is it the command center that you're buying, or is it a red Corvette, or is it a new wife? Like, like,
that you buy.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's
David doesn't
always,
know how straight relationships work.
I don't know. you
That's how it
all
works.
bought each other somehow, right? I don't know.
Man, the command
you
center
paid. I'm sure you paid somewhere along the way, Justin.
for the ring. Yeah.
Yep.
Hot water heater.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
command center every day, any day.
there you go. I mean, I couldn't not buy the HasLabs,
Right.
Those are crowning jewels in the collection, and for as long as I see myself still collecting, I'm gonna always want to feed that collection with one great piece, maybe a year. Like, for a couple of years, I would buy like one custom figure from a customizer, which is more expensive, but I do one customizer for one figure a year, and like, that would be like a new special piece that, like, joined the collection that year. I was supporting a fan and a artist. I was having a unique piece that was only mine, that wouldn't show up in anybody else's collection generally. So, like, those were ways that my collection was unique and curated to my nostalgic wants and loves and needs. Like, and that's what was important for me to do with my money, to, give me some joy. So, like, that's okay too. But, I'm saying that we will always collect, we will always spend money on the collection, but that will evolve in how that shows up for our collection, based on the need to survive and eat and pay rent, and all of those things.
You start to hit, like, especially with domestic figures, like, less becomes more. Really, I've really pulled back from Marvel Legends because I kind of it's twofold. I kind of have most of what I need from Marvel at this point. And also, I see the value in other figures that it's kind of hypocritical as being a toy collector is a very hypocritical hobby when you look at it, right? where you're like, I'm sitting here bitching about a $50 Spider-Man, and then be like, I really want that $2,000 command center. You know, like we have to point that out and be self-aware, right? Like,
but you have to think of the variety of offerings for a
yes.
Spider-Man, and then the variety of offerings for Command Center. There aren't. You don't have comparable things to pick between several versions of the Command Center. You just have that one, but that one is awesome. You know,
Exactly.
like, so you start to talk yourself into it, and you start to weigh like, well, like, could I do it for 2 years of payments? And like, you know, like, if it's $75 a month for 2 years, then, you know, what do I spend $75 on in a month, like, that I maybe could not do in order to do this? Like, you're gonna, it's logical to go through those thoughts and those measures and like decide like how you could make this a reality for yourself. And that's okay. Like, that's why we're on YouTube right now talking about this shit. Like, we all love this hobby, and it's hard. It kind of feels like the hobby turns on us a little bit and betrays us a little bit when it's saying, oh, well, you want to still play with me, you're gonna have to fork over $5 more, you know, like, that's where it feels like a gut punch. And it's like, oh crap, like, am I getting the return on my investment still, you know, like, but
it's
tough. Do you see yourself stopping? Do you see yourself stopping collecting?
No, you just adjust, right?
Yeah.
You adapt. You adapt and evolve. Yeah. Pivot.
Pivot.
Alexi, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely understand what David's saying, and I agree with what you said, Justin. To David's point, collecting isn't gonna like die off or anything. We'll definitely lose collectors in a lot of areas. I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. I mean, I feel like I'm becoming a lost collector for some lines because I'm I'm just not putting the budget where it can be used for that. A good example of that would be Encountered Culture. Kenny's channel posted a
Who is
review
that?
for the
Who's that guy?
he's I think he's been like a guest on here once or
Oh.
twice, a cameo, a little cameo. And I just watched his review for the Biker Mice from Mars motorcycle that goes with was it
Throttle.
Moto?
There's
Throttle.
Throttle.
Yeah. And I commented because I had all three of the Biker Mice from Mars, and I was like, honestly, I don't think I can keep the budget for this. But really, I looked at it as like, this is like 75 to $90 that I could be spending elsewhere. And so Collecting Rush was kind enough to pick those up for me, ship them over. Like I paid for him to ship them over. I opened them, I played with them, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to. I don't have the space in budget or in the collection right now. So I sold them on at a loss, which I've talked to David about before because I sell them at a small loss because I feel like I paid for the opportunity to get them in hand and play with them a little bit. And you know, I get them to someone else for a little cheaper who actually wants them. And that's happening a lot with Legends too, like you said, Justin. So like Dan, who has been putting that big graphic up that has all of the Marvel Legends that have come out this year. David, have you gotten every one of those Legends that's released so far?
Nope. The completionist, I think, the completionist will die off from collecting.
Yeah,
We will
definitely.
all become versions of a cherry picker. That's
Justin, have you gotten how many of those
I got
Legends have you gotten from that graphic?
So what waves? I think I might have only gotten one legend so far
We're
this year.
talking about the Nemesis wave. We're talking about the wave that has I think Blackheart. No, not that doesn't count.
Well, that was
Blackheart was
last
last
year.
year. End of
But
last
the
year.
Retro
Yeah.
Card Spider-Man wave came
Retro
out this year.
Spider-Man. Um, it's hard to say. I personally have only gotten one figure from that entire graphic or like from
Me
this
too.
year.
Me
Yeah,
too.
and that's Chameleon.
Same figure.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only gotten Chameleon. I
You
want
sheep.
more of those figures.
You freaking sheep.
Hey, as much shit as I gave Dan for begging for a Chameleon, we did need him. Like we did
Yeah.
still need a
Yeah.
Chameleon.
That's
So I've only
good.
picked him up, and the rest of them, like I want Amaro for my Marvel versus Capcom. I want the Nemesis entire wave, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want that Fabian Cortez. Like, I do want these figures, but I just can't. So I was on Best Buy when I ordered. Mike Hex was like, "Oh, they have Legends on Best Buy. Check it out." Blah blah blah. So I was on Best Buy because I have .com because I have a Best Buy card, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah! Like I'll check these Legends out." Marrow, I put her in my cart, and then I started adding other figures from that Nemesis wave. And by the time I was done adding figures, I was up to like 120, which is like reasonable for a bunch of Marvel Legends. And I went to check out, and Marrow was already out of stock by the time I went to check out. And I was like, you know what? I don't want any of these now. And I just scrapped the whole cart because I really
Yeah.
wanted Marrow, and the rest were like, tag-alongs. But
Isn't that
then,
what you did in the store in Japan, where like they didn't have Moon Knight or something, and you were like, "Screw
Well,
this!
never
yeah,
mind.
I'm not
yeah,
buying this wave."
we were
Right?
in Singapore, and
Yeah.
I was
So
about to overpay for Marvel Legends in Singapore, and the entire Black Heart wave, which I still don't have and I want, was on the shelf, and the figures in Singapore were like $40. And I was like, "We're in Singapore. I'm drunk. Let's get the whole Black Heart wave." Yeah, everyone in it was a Toys R Us too, so like the nostalgia was pumping, the
Yeah.
booze was pumping, the high school people that worked at Toys R Us were like. Like, yeah. And then I was like, all
Freaking
right,
American buying
let's
legends.
just get the
Yeah.
whole wave. Let's get the whole wave. And then when it came down to it, everything was there except freaking Moon Knight, which comes with the head for Blackheart. And I was like, you know what? I don't want this wave at all then. What am I gonna do with a headless Blackheart going back to America like an idiot? Yeah, so I ended up not doing it.
but you, Alexi, are unique in this group in that you buy a good fair amount of Mafex and imports,
Mhm.
and those
So
are
that's yeah.
you buy two of those, and that's like a full wave of legends.
Yeah.
So if you want a full wave of legends, are there two Mafex that you would skip in order to budget that to legends, or
So
are you not? Are you just going to stick with Mafex?
that's the other side of the coin is that I'm passing on these legends because if you want a Mafex figure, you have to get it when it comes out, or it's going to be at least 50% more on the aftermarket. Whereas I was browsing through that Amazon sale and there were like, two, I don't want to say nothing burger figures, but like Crossfire from that giant Cassie Lang wave a while back, and then the Captain Rogers from the Smart Hulk wave are only like $15 each. So there's rarely an import figure, especially a Mafex, that goes down in price after release. So I'm like stuck getting these Mafex figures so that I can not overpay later. I don't want to say stuck because I do enjoy these figures. Like that's the whole reason that I buy them. But that's why I'm becoming a lost collector for Legends because out of all of the figures they've released this year, I've only gotten one, but I've gotten several Mafex figures.
But still, like I always buy legends when they come out because I don't know which ones are going to be the
Yeah.
clearance bin ones at Ollie's or which ones are going to be top double triple the price on the aftermarket. So that's why I buy them at $24.99 or $27.99 right when
Yeah.
they are released, because at least I know I've gotten the wave, and I generally want the wave, like at least the
Yeah.
wave. I didn't buy the whole. I don't. Did I buy the whole Spider-Man Adventure card wave? No, I think I skipped something. I skipped one of them.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't even
You
remember.
know,
But
there's rumors of Maximum Hulk being, I mean, we were like, oh, it's gonna be like $70, $70. Now there's like rumors of it being in the $100 range. And I'll tell you what,
Justin's
if
head
it
exploded just then.
if it
Mm.
can do a
Mm.
gamma clap and it has like toe hinge, I'll probably buy it. Like that's a figure that I would spend like more money on. It would have to be amazing, but it's not out of the question for me. So I'm not completely gone, but it has to be something. Justin said we have so many figures from Legends. Like anyone who's been collecting for 5 years or more, they probably have the team built that is like the main team. You have a main Avengers team. You have a main X-Men team. You probably have a few iterations of those. And now you're starting to get your New Mutants built out, your generation, not really Generation X, but like your X-Force, like a lot of these ancillary teams are starting to get built out. But your main stuff is you're pretty much set. Now I'm just
Right,
waiting
but
for
you specified, Alexi, that your qualifier for a maximum Hulk that would make you buy it is if he could do a gamma clap, right?
Mhm.
And what
Yep.
else? What were the other? Is that it?
So did you see the leaked post from Venice? Not, it's not a leaked post, but Venomous Collector on Instagram
No.
posted today or in the last couple days, supposedly leaked aspects of the Maximum Hulk figure, and that includes feet with toe hinge and flat palm hands that we suspect are going to be for a
Oh,
gamma clap. There are, of
okay.
course, take that with a grain of salt because there are people in the comments saying like it looks like it just a really well done customizer kit, that could
Yeah.
just peg onto your Marvel Legends. So, there is that, but if it has those aspects, like I'm in because
But
I have a
but
couple import Hulks that can't do that.
but I think of like the Hulks that I have in my collection, and am I gonna pose him in the gamma clap mode? And like when I put him in the display, probably
Well, if
not.
you
I
paid a
don't,
hundred bucks for him,
but
you might.
I would want right, but like I don't think like for me the qualifier he would need like 3 or 4 expressive faces or heads,
That's also very
and
good, yeah.
like
Yeah.
probably better articulation that he could do the gamma clap, but what and then I don't know like a removable like torn shirt piece that like looks like is not just the like shawl over the shoulder kind of situation, but
Hmm.
like I don't know like a string across the front that like tucks into the waistband and like I'm trying to think of things that like would be enough to make me want to spend $100 on a Hulk
Yeah,
because I would want to buy the options to display him in 4 ways in order to make it worth it.
yeah.
From
Mm,
like
yeah.
I would
if I could get
imagine.
4 $25 displays of Hulk out of
Mhm.
that figure, then
Yeah,
maybe it's $100 worth.
But but
that's what I was
then
gonna go ahead.
I'm sorry. But then my only issue with just justifying it with the different heads and faceplates is at the end of the day, you can only display it with one of those
True.
unless you want to buy a whole nother figure. That's
And
why
then that's $200.
exactly. And I'm not saying the options aren't bad. Options are great, but when you get into justifying it just because of those options necessarily it just gets murky, at least from my opinion. This is only my opinion because I know like Brian Merchant is saying that the Maximum Series Spidey's catching a lot of heat, but he really likes it. Hey, and that's if it's $50 in value to you, if it measures up to that, I'm happy for you. I can only speak from my opinion, and I never hate on anybody for liking something or hating
Yeah.
something. We all have our own opinion.
But
So
but Justin, to your point though, like say he only came with one head, like
it does take from value.
I can only display him one way.
Yeah,
Like for me,
yeah,
the options mean that I'm not spending $100 to be locked into one head sculpt and
it's true.
one limited way to pose him with the arms, not being able to do a gamma clap, not being able to have him running and charging with a toe hinge. Like I want to pay like the more you're asking me to pay for it, the more I'm asking of you to give me options to display it. So if
That's fair.
he comes with 3 heads and not a faceplate like the Kang situation, but like if it comes with 3 different heads and the green matches a Hulk that we've gotten already, then I can upgrade one of
Yeah,
those with the extra head. So like I
fair.
get then it works and builds in more value to the $100
Hmm.
because I can affect a broader area of my collection, not just the one figure that I took out of the box.
Do you
So
want
like
the ability to pose it in multiple places at the same time, that's what you're saying. Like if you could put
Yeah,
the pieces matching a different Hulk on a different display, and then that would justify it
it
more
could
for
be
you.
a better expression, a better
Yeah,
face printing technology than a
yeah,
previous Hulk
mhm,
head that we got before. But the greens would need to match, and then that's a whole other drama.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's like
Which is a
like
problem you had with the King heads, right?
right because you
mhm.
have
Yeah,
to buy other of the same Kang with the throne in
right.
order to use the other faceplates. Whereas if it was 3 separate heads, I'd just pop the head on the other Kang, you know? So like
Yeah.
that's what I think needs to be the return on the investment of a higher price point, is that you get more options that are workable to affect a bigger area, more than just that one figure, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do enjoy like swapping the accessories out on a figure and like redoing a display. I'm also the kind of collector who will build a display around a specific effect or accessory with one of my figures. So like you asked earlier, like would I even display Hulk like doing the gamma clap? I absolutely would. I'd probably do it for like 3 to 6 months or something and then be like, okay, like let's
Change that.
rearrange this display and
Yeah.
then do something else.
Yeah.
But I do agree, like if you're gonna ask for more money, then you need to give me more options for displaying. I think that's like a great baseline for like deciding whether something is worth it.
All right.
Right?
And-
It's not web sperm. It's like,
Oh, right.
but wait, you can use this head on this figure. You can,
Yeah.
Useful accessories.
yeah.
Yeah. I do want to get to Chi Chi Collects question here in a second, but before we get to that, Chi Chi, I got a couple questions for Andrew, because Andrew is a different side of the spectrum, really, where we're kind of all, at least speaking for myself, I don't want to speak for David or Lexi. I'm kind of all over the place with my collection, right?
Mhm.
I have very specific rules I set for myself, but rules get bent and everything. You get something you take from somewhere else. Andrew,
Get bent, Justin. I'm sorry.
right? Get bent. Andrew is like, okay, I collect Star Wars, and because of this show and our negative influence, I might dabble in a couple other little things.
Yeah.
Andrew, so you said with Black Series going up in price, it's inching closer to that $30 range, which they already had deluxes that were over that $30 range. I know you picked up I believe it was the Revoltech C3PO,
Right.
and I think we've instigated you maybe getting interested into some other imports. Do these price increases from Hasbro make you more likely to say, well, do I want these 3 kind of, as the kids would say, mid figures? Or do I want this like definitive Mafex over here? Is it making you kind of see import higher price figures in maybe a different light because these prices keep increasing?
I think it kind of depends, because I like to buy things when they're on sale. I don't like to do full price.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Revoltech C3PO, I got on sale. I did order the Mafex Darth Vader.
Right.
So that was full price. But I mean, like the Paz Vizsla Black Series that I picked up, the deluxe,
Yeah.
I got it for $12 at Walmart.
Yeah.
I waited until it finally hit. But I mean, I'm already kind of a pick and choose collector, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe become more pick and choose. Like do I really need that figure or not?
Yeah. It's
I
I'm
think,
not a completionist.
well, that was where my question for you, Andrew, was. It's like, how big of a world building aspect are you trying to do with Star Wars? Are you trying to just get kind of like the main like tentpole characters of, the Vader, the Leia, the Luke, the Han, the like Chewbacca, the droid, the R2D2, and the C3PO? Like, as long as you have like all of these mains for the parts of the franchise that you've connected with the most, you're happy? Or do you need everybody from the cantina and Stormtrooper number 3 whose head got blown off? And like, if you don't want a world build, then I can't see you migrating to Mafex, like, because you wouldn't be able to world build with Mafex or SH Figure Arts as much as you can with Black Series.
Right.
But if you're not trying to world build anyway, then you might as well stay with Black Series. Like, I don't know. But you're not trying to world build, is that correct? Like,
Not really, no. I mean, probably the only world building I might try to do is a cantina scene.
okay.
But I'm not going to try to have everybody I saw in the movie in that cantina. I might even throw in different characters from different movies, like different franchises, into the cantina just for fun.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Right.
A
You see
Who's
some
Who,
characters.
Where's Waldo version of Star Wars. Yeah.
Yep.
You see some of those characters that you weren't going to pick up that pop up at like a Ross or an Aldi. Ross or Ollie's.
Aldi has figures.
Figures coming to Aldi.
Discount.
No, Ross or Ollie's. Then it's like, oh, $10. Okay, maybe. Or if it's a Ross, you're paying like $5 or $6. That's
if they have them.
Yeah. But there's kind of, like David said, if you're not into world building, then I would argue, David, if you're not into world building, then wouldn't you want to, instead of getting 3 different Darth Vaders for 24 or 27 a piece, wouldn't you want to spend that go ahead and spend that $100 on the definitive, like Mafex Darth Vader instead? If you're not worried about world building the shelf, you just want those definitive characters.
Probably.
Was that for me or for Andrew?
Well, kind of just a blanket question, not a statement, blanket question.
Okay. I think we're talking apples and oranges because, like, it's if SH Figure Arts does one Vader, and for SH Figure Arts, that's their definitive Vader. That's all they're going to do. That's the only way they're going to put Vader out. A person who agrees that captures their version of Vader will buy it. Yeah. Andrew, who wants a good Vader that he can get at an affordable price, he's not going to go for that. He's not going to spend $100 on that. Mm-hmm. He's going to buy the one for $30 at Target, maybe, or he'll wait for it to go on like their Target Circle Deals promo, where you get $5 off a $30 purchase, or wait for it to clearance out. Like, there's not an urgency there. And Mike Hex in the chat says Black Series Deluxe always drops. So I'm not a collector of Black Series. I'm not a collector of Black Series Deluxe. So I don't know how true that is. That's his experience. But, like, if you as a Star Wars collector know that that's going to happen, there's no urgency behind you to buy it right when it comes out, because you know that it always goes to a clearance price. You can always find it later at a cheaper price point. So, but I guess there's tiers of collectors. The collector that waits for the clearance price. There's a collector that buys it right when it comes out, so that they're not playing the game of will it drop, will it rise in the aftermarket. And then there's the collector that goes straight for, there's the Alexi who will go straight for the import at a higher price point and then start disengaging from the mainline accessible domestic releases, so, like, I think that we're all three, like, not counting you, Justin, because I don't know what the hell you're doing with your collecting, but like,
what even are you?
I don't even know, man.
Justin, who are you? What are you doing?
I don't even have a command center.
I thought you were a Power Ranger fan, but I guess not.
We're all 3 different, like, Andrew and me and Alexia are the 3 different tiers of, like, how we approach collecting, it seems, from this discussion, right? Which is why we're such a good group that, like, people enjoy watching every week, Right. And then you're there, Justin, too.
Yeah, then I'm here. I'm just here. I'm just hanging out, man. I don't know. I've got my cool Mythic Legions Knight. I got my
got your Pokemon,
my on card Pikachus. I'm happy, man.
Your 2 strings, and
it sounds like David, Andrew, and myself need to head to the big time, and you and Kenny can have your own.
Right.
Pokemon
There we
show.
go. There we go. Got my Pokemon, my Mafex Batman. Oh man. I don't know. I think I fall somewhere between, like,
what kind of collector are you, Justin? What kind of collector are you?
Me and Alexi both said we only have gotten Chameleon so far from Legends. I've pre-ordered Electro and Lizard from No Way Home. So I'm going to get those because those fill out. When I look at Legends, I look at my shelf as, let's say it's a complete collection in my mind, but there's holes, right? It's like, well, not complete, but basically it's like, oh, these are what my shelves are going to be, but I know which characters I'm missing. And as those are coming out, I know I'm picking those out and putting them on the shelf. They already have a spot. That's kind of where I'm at with Legends. I don't see, like, I'm happy with the Spider-Man figures I have. I'm happy with my Captain America until maybe a Maximum comes out. I don't know. I'm happy with the Iron Man I have, and the same goes with like the MCU, where okay, for me, like it was Infinity Saga. Everything past that's really hit or miss. I don't necessarily need to collect any of that going forward, unless they're reaching back and giving us like an Avengers 1 Hawkeye. That'd be great. They're giving us Electro and Lizard from No Way Home. Those are going to go on the Spider-Man MCU shelf. And then so with me kind of being, I don't want to say done with Legends, but being able to step away at such a huge.
You heard it here first.
Right.
He's done.
No,
Justin
no,
is
no,
done
no.
with Legends.
Me being able to step away, and it's like when it comes to Legends, I know what I need, and that kind of ties into Chi Collect's question of like budgeting. I know what I need with Legends, so I know I'm not worried about having to budget for a whole wave of Legends ever at this point. I know like I'm missing some Spider-Man animated series characters. I have a wish list of early MCU characters, and that's kind of it, honestly. I just made some more updated X-Men from X-Men the animated series, maybe missing, but I'm happy with what I have. So at this point, it's like dabbling in Mythic Legions and this Mafex Batman. And I like Andrew was saying, I wait for sales and I use trading credit. I have stuff like Alexi was saying. The same way Alexi sells stuff at a loss, I'll trade stuff in at a loss where I know I'm not getting the value for it that I paid. But it's like renting something, it's like, oh, I had my fun with it. Here, let me go get some value out of this. And I can trade stuff in and get a Mafex Batman that I love, that I really enjoy. If something were to come out and I'm looking at that Mafex Batman on the shelf in like 3 months, thinking that I haven't picked it up in a while, I really want that new something. I could sell that Batman and then I move on to stuff. The same way I'm plugging in those holes with Legends, I'm kind of doing with Pokemon too. When I get these Pokemon figures, I'm very selective with Dragon Ball Z SH figure arts. I limit myself. You have to limit yourself with those. Certain sagas, certain looks, and I don't need 12 versions of Goku. It's one version of each form that he has basically within Z. So, and past that, it's like now Yu-Gi-Oh is something that I'm looking at that's expensive, so I have to set rules for that. I don't necessarily have like a definitive budget, but in my mind, let's say they drop something that's coming out and I have to pay for it right then. And I know, okay, I'm buying that. That means I need to go on Big Bad Toy Store or Amazon. I need to look at my pre-orders. Is anything coming out soon? Do I need to cancel that pre-order and wait to pick that up? It's more of a numbers game in my head as far as number of items versus the price of those items, if that makes sense. It was my way of budgeting.
Would you say that you're a different type of collector depending on which line it is? Because you're going to go over on some and cherry pick others and be a completionist for something else. So are you a blend of each of us as far as your collecting?
I don't think I'm a completionist on hardly anything besides maybe when it comes to Spider-Man the animated series.
Batman animated series?
Yeah, McFarlane's re-releases of those. Yeah, I'm a completionist. And I want to say I'm close to being completionist with Pokemon figures, but I have to really pick and choose with those, especially with how Jazzwares releases. Not talking about the Select line. I pick up all of those, like the Pokemon Select Target exclusive trainer team series. I pick up all of those. I'm going to pick up all the blockies. But with like the battle figures and stuff, they re-release those packed in weird with like 2 packs, 3 packs with Pokemon you already have. So you have to navigate that and you can't pick up all of them. You'll end up with 38 Pikachus or something.
Right.
So yeah, the Simpsons line right now, I'm not even a completionist. I just want the individual characters. I don't need Baseball Homer.
Right.
If I see it at Ross for $3, I'll pick it up. But so yeah, I'd say a blend is it depends on the line. Like with Mythic Legions, I know I have to limit myself. Like the Necronominus wave came out. I got 1 figure from it. The skeleton guy was was me reaching back because Big Bad had it on sale.
Mhm.
So it's more of like you just have to limit yourselves, especially when you collect so many different things. David, you're a different kind of collector, like you said, because you mainly do. I mean, you do McFarlane too, but correct me if I'm wrong. Your main majority of your collection, at least what we see behind you, is Legends.
Right.
It's Marvel, and you want all those representations, right?
So, I mean, well, here's the thing. It's like I considered myself a Legends completionist maybe until like 2 years ago, and now with the line evolving from a price point perspective, but also like they're just doing a lot of retreads of things, and like I now am finding I'm more of a cherry picker. So I'm not really, I don't consider myself a Legends completionist anymore, but my completionist mentality is spilling now into different lines. So my diversity of what I'm buying is more, because I'm buying Jada Street Fighter when I'm not a gamer. I'm buying Sesame Street because it's like such a capture of my nostalgic, like truly like innocent young childhood, where like, wow, like this is in plastic form now. Like I will buy new Muppets if Diamond Select is releasing more. There was a pre-order for something in January 2026 of another new Muppet character. Like I'm like, they're still going to be in business in 2026. I don't know, but like I've gone to different depths with McFarlane with all the various Batman lines that he's doing. So like right now I'm collecting more different lines to different qualities of depth and less completionist across the board.
Mm-hmm.
But my money's still being spent on all these toys, you know, like I'm not saving money anywhere. Like I'm not. I'm just instead of spending it on the entirety of Legends, I'm now spending it on 65 to 80% of Legends, and then this line and that line and this line and that line. And it's like I feel like my expected deliveries list on my phone is very light, but then I go on my like toy hunt, and then at GameStop there's these new things that dropped, and at Target these new things are dropping, and then on CMD store these new things are dropping, and I'm like, shit, I'm still spending so much money every month. Like, what the hell?
You can't be a completionist on anything these days.
You can't afford to, no. But I'm still spending money because I'm still engaged with the collecting bug. You know, like it's
to Gabriel's point in the chat. He says keeping a spreadsheet of what you've bought is sobering, helps a lot to budget and make better decisions. Which goes along with what Chi Chi had asked earlier, and also with Legion X comment of the average car price will increase by $12,500. That's a 4-year toy budget. And so a 4-year toy budget of $12,500 is actually $3,125 a year. So quick question for the three of you before I move to my next point. Do you think that you've spent more or less than $3,125 last year on toys?
Way less.
Way
more.
less?
Yeah.
More for you. And Justin, you don't have to answer if your family's watching this stream right now.
Definitely
Fair
less,
enough.
because you said it was 3,000. How much, Alexa?
Yeah, 3,125.
3,005. How much is that per month? That's 260 a month. Definitely a lot. Definitely a lot less than that.
I don't know.
Okay.
You bought a Batwing. Didn't you buy a Batwing? Let's really go
I can't.
think about
No,
this. Justin.
I canceled my Batwing. I canceled my
bought-
Batwing.
You bought
You
a Joker
did?
mobile.
Yeah, I did.
You
That's
bought a couple
again.
Batmobiles, right?
Yeah, but so I bought the Joker mobile on sale. I paid full price for the anime series Batmobile, but those are only the two big ones. I canceled the Batwing because that was a casualty of other stuff coming out and me kind of banking on it going on sale later. It might bite me, it might, but I had to look at it and be like, well,
just to reiterate, the piece that was up to like $500 to $700 before the reissue, you felt like may go on sale.
it might. It's still in stock on Target.com.
Okay. Oh, that's fair.
It might.
That's fair.
or it could bite me, and I could in a year like see, I'll be saying I should have got that.
How much is it on Target?
149.
149.
Yeah.
Wasn't it less than that when it was pre-order though? I could have swore it was only 100
They had a
bucks.
sale going. It was like a Target Circle sale because I had
That's right.
I had
That's how I
mine
got
locked
it.
in. I think down to like 130 or something like that. But I went ahead and canceled the pre-order. Yeah, it was when the delivery date was going to hit around the same time some other things were going to hit, and I was like, I can't swing it right now.
Yeah.
You're trying to
Again,
save for a dragon.
Yeah, it's having that budget in your head, right? It's you
Yeah.
got to know when things are coming out, and
That's so that was my next point is also to Gabriel's comment. I did create a spreadsheet back in 2022. So at this point, I was like working full time. Recently I've gone back to grad school, but in 2022, I was working full time, had a lot of income coming in, Amanda working full time as well. And so I was tracking all of my purchases and my sales because I was still selling figures that year. And
Yeah.
the total, so I do have the total for 2022. I off the top of my head, I can't say which Legends waves came out in 2022 to give an idea of like how much I was tempted to spend. But what's your guess of how much I spent that year working full time, only working and collecting toys, Justin?
You said which year?
2022, so 3 years ago. And I will give you a hint. It is more than 3,000.
I was going to say 3,500.
Okay. And how about you, David?
3,300.
33. And Andrew, how about you?
Let's go 37.50.
37. Wow.
And $1.
Yes.
37.50. So the total in 2022 that I spent on anything toy related, this includes vehicles, dioramas, actual figures, anything toys. I spent $5,211.19. And that was, and again, this includes me selling figures. Like I was selling about 100 figures a month. Sorry, $100 worth of figures a month. And still came out to that. My biggest months, 2 months were summertime. We're all working a lot, and it's summertime. And that was, it looks like August, September were my two biggest months. August was $500. And that
Okay.
includes, I got a G.I. Joe classified gung ho because I wanted I wanted the body. I don't even collect Joes, okay? But I wanted the body so that I could build the rest of the Reavers for X-Men. Because remember, that extra head came with,
Yep.
I forgot which figure. So I got the gung ho. That was one. Mafex Dark Knight Returns Armored Batman came out. I got Firestar Marvel Legends. The Knoll 2-pack came out that year. Let's see. I got the Hammond Collection T-Rex that month.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And then the following month, that was $869, was I got the Hell Witch from Loose Collector, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4 Mafex figures, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 legends. This is in a month. So I got 4 Mafex, 10 legends. I got a diorama from Prime to the First, 2 SH Figuarts, and 3 Star Wars Black Series.
How much did you spend on the cocaine?
The cocaine actually came free with the diorama from Prime to the First.
Oh.
Shout out Prime to the First, Sacramento, California.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wasn't just dust.
So you know what it was? I was working in the field a lot and I had a lot of downtime. So I would end up just like scrolling on like
yeah.
Amazon or something and being like, I'm bored. Let's go shopping or something.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
get you.
Yeah. But so that was an example. And like Gabriel said, after I tracked all my purchases and sales that year, I won't go over, my biggest sales month. Actually, I think I have it right here. I sold $147. It was two Mayfex. I sold Mattel. Actually, I bought that. Whoops. Yeah, it looks like I sold like two Mayfex figures for $150 that month.
But you
Okay.
spent
that's
800 on new stuff.
no. That was just the biggest month. This is in
Oh,
July. So that $150 I spent the following month, and then I spent more money the month after that.
mm-hmm.
So my point of this whole thing of keeping the spreadsheet and to what Gabriel was saying, after I realized I'd spent like over $5,000 in that year, I was like, oh my God, I gotta slow down. So
Yeah.
the following year, I was much more like strict on what I was purchasing and stuff like that. And actually, David knows this. I bought the NECA turtle van that I pre-ordered it that year. It came out the following year, but I ended up selling that NECA turtle van and all
Mm.
four of the turtles in disguise because I needed the money. So um,
Yeah.
it's just
Move
ups and
on from
downs.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Goon's asking, do you regularly sell older pieces of your collection as you upgrade? I feel like that's such a hassle. It can be. It can be a hassle selling. But Alexi, like you said, you just have to be okay with if you bought something for 30, you have to be okay with only making $20 off of it after you sell it. You're not
Absolutely.
gonna you're not always gonna come out flush. Sometimes you might make a profit. Sometimes you might spend $80 on something and sell it for 150 if it goes up. Or 20 and sell it for 30. But there's gonna more often than not, you're gonna buy something for 25 and sell it for 15 after
Yeah.
you're done with it. That's just how it goes.
Things that are on my sale pile, just as a little snapshot, the Marvel Select Apocalypse. I'm going to be listing it for $60, which is lower than some prices, and a little bit higher than others. But I'm pretty confident that it's not going to stay on sale for long. And that's $60. That's like, two or three Marvel Legends,
Or
Yeah.
one
closer
maximum
to two,
Spidey and a
one
Web
maximum
Sprout.
Spider with shipping. Yeah.
Yeah, it's um yeah, you got to know how to navigate and like you're collecting. Like if you're going to collect more lines, like I'm I can justify picking up a few Mythic Legions that kind of started rolling in as the Lightning collection ended. And I was a completionist on Lightning collection. And after the line ended, I looked at it as a collection and was like, that team's not getting done. That team's not getting done. That team's not getting done. I don't necessarily need those. And I sold off a bunch. And, like purging. And then it's like, okay, so now I only need these spots for this shelf. And now that what I would be putting in the Lightning collection and Legends, which I'm kind of I'm not done, David, but kind of putting a bow on it to say, you know,
He's done with
that
Legend.
money
Justin
that
has
money gets
said goodbye to Legends.
allocated somewhere else. And then you look at with McFarlane, I had more McFarlane. I had like a McFarlane and like Comic Justice League, and I moved on from all those. There were some expensive figures in that. There was the that Target exclusive Flash was kind of expensive. What else was it? There was another one in there. The Wonder Woman was going for a lot, and I sold all those.
Your favorite Wonder Woman?
Oh God, I hated that figure. I hated that figure so much.
It
When
still goes for a high price.
Yeah, it's still for some stupid reason. But yeah, you just have to pick and choose. You have to know when to let go of things at some point, and it depends on what you're going to collect. I mean,
Mike Heck says seller fees went up bad too. So
yeah,
I know, like, I don't sell things because for me, like Goon number 3, it's a hassle for me to think about like, oh, I've got to like figure out what I want to sell, take pictures of all of it, list it on the website, and then somebody buys it, and then I have to ship it and box it and bring it to send it out. Like, it's just too much. It's too much. So I don't sell anything. But a friend of mine does sell stuff off, and he talks to me all the time
Oh
about
yeah.
Mercari.
Sorry to interrupt, David. Sorry to interrupt. Breaking news. Justin is now 1 year older.
Oh,
Woo! Anybody want
yay!
to guess the age?
Closer to the midlife crisis age where he buys a new wife or or a command center.
David's really trying to get me in trouble today.
I mean, I think you do a fine job of it yourself. It ain't me.
I'm gonna say
Happy birthday, Justin.
I think we're about the same age, so you must be like 25.
Oh yeah, that's it. 25 today. Here we go. Nah, Andrew, you can't guess. You can't
That would
guess.
be cheating.
Is this 36 or 37?
36. 36. Oh, it hurts to
Nice.
say. Oh god, it hurt. Oh, my heart's at
Your left arm's going numb.
Oh god, it hurts to say. Oh man, I feel like I feel like I was just freaking out about turning 30. Like, oh crap. And now I'm like
Really?
I'm looking down that tunnel and I see 40 creeping up. I'm like, oof. Like,
It
like
hit you
you're walking
real
down the
quick.
street. You're
This
walking
is,
down the street and there's someone real shady down there, and that's 40 right there. Like
40 in a trench coat waiting to show you. Yeah.
oh,
You're in your late 30s now.
I know.
Welcome.
Oh god. Late
I've been
30s.
here for about a month. Yeah, a little over a month.
36 is technically like late mid 30s. You know,
Right.
because 34
when
to
you put it that
36
way.
is like your mid 30s.
So-
Then
Right,
37.
So what's the life expectancy for a male in the US? So I'm just trying to justify the command center as my midlife crisis purchase. That's at this point. I think I'm there, right? I think I'm there. Yeah.
Getting
Yeah.
close.
I think you're in. I think we've heard more than enough evidence this evening to
Right.
compel you to get the command center.
Oh god.
Oh, and shout out happy birthday to Craig's.nostalgic.collection. Don't forget the dots.
Mhm. It's his birthday again today.
Oh yeah, it's always his birthday, right? Yeah. Mark, what?
Mark,
What, Mark?
I've been technically dead for a few good years. As
On
Mark
the
said.
inside. Me too.
Was there
Yeah.
some life insurance fraud there going on, Mark? I don't. Let's delete that from the internet.
Yeah, we don't
But
want to
yeah,
get him in trouble.
thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'm currently accepting donations in the form of command centers. So nah. But yeah, I think, like you were saying, David, you said it. The hobby will never die. It will shift.
Yeah.
It will always shift.
Pivot.
Pivot. Yeah, I think I only get like high dollar stuff when I can justify it. Trades and getting rid of like legends and everything. Like I traded in some McFarlane figures that had went up that I still had boxed and got this guy and the Street Fighters and stuff. Trade in some other stuff too. As I'm shifting stuff out of the collection, I bag it up in Ziploc bags or box it back up in the boxes and either sell it or trade it.
Legion X with the stats. Men on average live to be 73 in America. So 36 times 2 is 72. So you are well within your midlife crisis range because you could die at 72. Bam. So command center confirmed.
I'm telling you. Once I purchase that command center, that life expectancy
Plummet.
is going to go down. It's going to plummet. It's gonna
Because your
plummet.
wife will murder you.
Yes. Like, honey, look, it's only a little more than it's like a water heater and a half. Okay.
But it will not heat the water. Sorry.
The dragon might.
The dragon might. Yeah, but
I told you. Fire breath.
yeah,
You
it's
can
like, look,
heat
honey,
the water from the anger radiating from your wife.
Mhm.
Look, I had to have the command center to go next to the dragon. Okay. It's that'll go over really well. Really well. I don't know. I have been thinking because Alexi told me, he was like, man, I mean, you could just start selling some stuff off. And I started thinking, like, what could I sell to fund the command center? And
You
honestly,
do have 2 kids now, so I
With
mean,
4 kidneys. 4.
yeah.
or,
Just keep one of the kids. I'm sure, Somebody out there wants a kid.
Maybe the price of Captain Carrot will skyrocket. Glow in the Dark Captain Carrot is out of stock on Amazon, by the way.
Of course it is. Of
I
course.
do
Yeah.
think that figure will go up in price for sure. Are you
Yeah.
looking specifically at your McFarlane stuff?
I don't have a whole lot left, to be honest with you. Besides, I have the Batman movie stuff.
Are you getting the Batman Returns wave, Justin?
Yeah, I have to. I feel like I have to.
Are you
I
getting a
have to at least
motorized
get the
duck vehicle?
Batman. I have to at least get the Batman. I won't get the duck vehicle. No, I won't get that.
What?
No.
Will you?
I have to. I will at bare minimum get the Batman from that wave because I kind of at this point I want a Batman in like every iteration of the costume that is available in that size. Besides, I just can't justify going back and getting the Battinson. I did on AliExpress was it Fonjoy or whatever. They had the Battinson from them. I looked up some reviews and it appears to be about the same price as the McFarlane figures, like a 7-inch scale. And some comparisons I saw. So I got that for like really cheap. It's probably a knockoff. I don't care. As long as it looks it even a knockoff of that would look better than the McFarlane Robert Pattinson.
Oh
Batman.
yeah, those are like 1/10 scale figures, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So that would fit in and be my representation with the McFarlanes without having to buy the McFarlane one. So because I refuse to pay $20 for that figure. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. As for some reason, that thing is holding strong at like $20 on the aftermarket or 25, and I refuse. Not today, Todd. Not today. Does anybody have any final thoughts on the doom and gloom of collecting? I don't know. I'm hoping. My hope is that past this first wave of price increases, we won't see any more price increases for a while.
That the Board of Toys will stop
Big
those
toy.
tariffs. Tear down those tariffs.
My worst case scenario, prices keep going up quicker. They're always going to go up eventually, but we want to limit those price increases throughout the year and everything. Because at some point, there's some lines that you might get priced out of. I mean, and just move on to other things, but we'll see. We'll see.
My final thoughts are April 6th is my birthday. So a week from tomorrow. And I do accept gifts in the form of PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, and cold hard cash. So
and command centers in Justin's name.
Hit me up. I'm not gonna squander it on a command center for $2,000. I will use it for, honorable pursuits. So,
what about streaming service logins? Do you take payments in that?
No.
That's fair.
Mike Hex wanted us to talk about the Tick real quick.
I like
it.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, I remember the show. Y'all remember the show? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the live
Fox
action
Fox
and
Kids,
the
right?
animated.
Yeah.
What hurts me about this is that price.
What is it? I can't.
40.
Oh,
that's a lot, man.
Do you know who's the producer? It's Big.
It's
Big Bad Workshop, because it's like from Big Bad Toy Store, right?
It looks great.
Yeah, I mean it's a 112 figure and it's cheaper than Maximum Spidey.
Oh, we've seen this body. This is their Blank Brute body, right?
Oh,
maybe creative reuse for a solid color figure. So
at 25,
I mean, it's pinless.
That's
yeah, I guess 40 is kind of pushing it. I like it a lot. Mike, are you getting it? It says it's already worth it more than the $100 Shocker Toys, right? That's the indie company. Long box heroes look good, but we're small. If they, I don't know, if there was some kind of promise to also do like the rabbit, he has
Arthur,
the wing. Yeah, Arthur. To have the duo, that'd be cool, but I do like this.
What about this estimated arrival time? Third quarter 2026. Oof.
This is definitely. Well, are they doing a deposit on it? Non-refundable?
No.
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 No?
So would this be
Okay.
considered like a made to order kind of thing? Because
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Hmm.
it makes
Yeah.
sense. If it's that long of a window to get it like shipped, they're probably gonna produce
This
as many people pre-order. But
Yeah.
this might be something I would drop a pre-order on, and then when it hits 2020, like second half of 2026, reevaluate if I still want it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good point because with BBTS you can cancel at any time at no cost. So that's a good point.
Yeah, 3 heads
Um,
too. Yeah,
Mike Hex, you've been talking a lot about the goods and bads, but are you ordering it?
it looks nice.
No
yeah, I would
spoon
want to
though.
know. I would want to know if I could world build and like get at least the sidekick Arthur. I would be down for like American Made. She was always like a fun female with that.
David, we went over this. You can't make toys in America, okay? It just doesn't work out.
Got it.
Daniel S did not have the tick on his bingo card. Yeah, St. James says Mothman. Yeah, I'm with you, David. If you could get more than one character from the show,
Yeah.
that more intrigued me. But he would look nice on like a random shelf, I guess. I don't know. I might drop a pre-order and then maybe cancel it next year when it reevaluate. If I have my command center or not. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah, my final thoughts on the collecting thing are, we're Toy Galaxy, Dan Larson, he has a great video, a couple videos on like collection 2.0, which means like you build up this mass of figures and all of this stuff related to toys, and then you get to a point where you have to resize or reconfigure what you have and you sell some off or you donate some stuff. So most people who have a larger collection or have been collecting for a long time, they have like a living, breathing collection because stuff is coming in, stuff is going out, and we're just at another point for everyone, whether they like it or not, where they're going to decide like, am I at a slashing phase or am I at a growing phase? Or, so I think we're all just reevaluating. That's definitely where I'm at. And it's kind of de facto that I'm like, these days legends just aren't seeming worth it at their retail price compared to the other stuff that I absolutely want to get my hands on. It doesn't mean that I don't like legends anymore. And I do think that Hasbro is improving and they're still doing cool stuff that I want. I just don't, we're making choices. Everyone has to make choices.
Yeah. And to that same logic, Alexi, I kind of feel like you have to have some sort of hobby. And this just happens to be our hobby. Everyone spends money on something, whether it be collecting or fixing up cars, going to like the club or bars with your friends or something like that. Or it's just what do old people collect? Stamps and coins and stuff.
Bird bottle cap
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Yeah.
bottle caps and paper
and
clips,
paper
right?
clips.
It just comes down to how much disposable income do you have. And I know like a collection is not going to sit there and keep building up in value, but the way I look at it is at least I have something to show for the money I spend. As long as I have something physical, something I can touch to show for that money that I spent, that I might not make back what I paid on it, but I can always I can always sell everything and bring in a boatload of cash, at any point. Yeah, so it might not be as much as I would want.
You don't have a command center.
Yeah, that's true. So at least it's something physical that you can put your hands on. You're always going to have people that ask you what you do and like, oh, I collect toys and action figures. Like what? But generally, people, what I've seen, don't care, honestly, because everyone's got a hobby. And these days, everyone's kind of nerdy anyway, typically.
We could be looking at $3,000 gaming PCs with water fountains in the middle of the tower,
Exactly.
True.
Yep. Or an exotic fish collection. There you go.
Or that
will
mountain
die.
cocaine
That could die at any point.
2022 for Alexi.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, what a good year. What a good year.
If only I could remember it. All right, guys. So we are going to thank our channel members, then we're going to get out of here. Let's see here. Who did it last week? Andrew did it last
I did.
week. Hmm.
We'll do it this week,
Oh, okay. I was going to
unless
pull a name out of
David wants to.
a hat.
No, you're good. You go ahead. You go ahead.
So starting with the justified MVPs. Thank you guys so much. D-Man 12, you were here. Always a pleasure to see you. Legion X, you were dropping some stats in the chats, and we also appreciate that. It's crazy that men only live to 73 years old in the States. Maybe when I'm 72, I'll leave Amanda and I'll move to Europe to live for another 4 years. Who knows?
Just
I'm
buy a new
straight. I
wife,
can
like
just
David
buy
said.
another wife. Yeah, that's how it works, according to David. Compulsive collector. I know collecting is a compulsion, but tonight we discussed some ways that you can decide whether you want to be more or less compulsive moving forward. Also, I saw you on Encounter Culture stream. You suck. John Morrissey, great to see you, brother. I know you love Kenny and I know you love Justin. That's okay because I love that you love them. David Evan Smith, let's save up to buy a wife, man. We need someone to cook and clean, you know? Let's save up. Forget that
I
command
recommend it.
center. We don't collect Power Rangers. Michael Davis, thank you so much for being an MVP. Same to you, St. James. You're in the chat a couple times. St. James, you're in my time zone, so I know it's not too late for you. I'm guessing you're rearranging some other part of your house to put more figures in. And for that, we salute you. Now we move on to the Justified. Dan, who reviews? I was chatting with you earlier, Dan. We were talking about all those channels that we hate. We won't say it here, though. Christopher Allen, great for you to stop by, man. Thank you for reminding us that it's Justin's birthday. And again, happy birthday, Justin Collects. It's almost over. Displayed Once. Shout out to Displayed Once. It's always a pleasure to see you when you show up in the chats, Rich. And I will be seeing you on Tuesday for those sweet, sweet Marvel Legends reveals that I won't be ordering. Kurt K, thanks for being the Justified Kurt K. Always a pleasure when I get to see you, and I know you're doing great. It'd be great to have Kurt K on for some Star Wars talk because then it would be me, Andrew, and Kurt instead of me, Andrew, and me and Andrew. And counterculture, sorry you couldn't be with us tonight. Again, great reviews on the Biker Mice from Mars. Looking forward to the other bike reviews and everything else from the cell. They're knocking it out, and so are you, partner. Cole's Cave, I'm gonna be honest, Cole, you hurt my feelings with how low you rated my photos last week. But I know you know what you're talking about, so I take that criticism in stride. Also, David pulling a photo out of his ass to jump ahead to first place at the end of the competition seems a little wild, but it's something that everyone should tune in to have a gander at. Mikey Moon Boots, always a pleasure to see you over at Legends and Liquor, and keep up what you're doing. Thanks for being part of the Justified. You boys got toys. You're a piece of shit. Jesse Hubbard. I just realized I'm reading this off the small screen instead of the big screen down here. Jesse Hubbard. Jesse Hubbard, you're not Jared from Ireland over at Legends and Liquor. And today I learned that. I did also learn that Gerard Bryn or Brine, we're mispronouncing your first name. Why should we pronounce your second name perfectly? Thanks for being part of the Justified. We all enjoy your displays. If you guys didn't tune into the Legends and Liquor from last week over at the Dan Who Reviews channel, Jared Bryn, Gerard Brine, whatever his name is, he is insanely talented at doing a display that makes the figures actually look like they're underwater. I'm not even kidding. He hand sculpted the surface of the water in the display cube and then perfectly hid all of the stands and has just a beautiful underwater Joe combat display. Like they're in combat underwater. Go check it out. Legends and Liquor, Gerard Bryn, Jared Brine. STM Figures. That wasn't you earlier in the chat. I'm getting you mixed up with another JCB, another acronym name. But hopefully see you in the chat or in the comments. Thanks for being part of the Justified. Bring toys to work. Michael, you lighten everyone's day all the time, every day. So thank you for being you. Thank you for being part of the Justified. Super Turk 5000. We talked about a lot of Coke in 2022, but I'm looking forward to all of that when I see you in Vegas in just a few weeks. So shout out to you, Super Turk, wherever you're hiding it to bring it from the UK. Keep it safe. Zion Collectibles, thank you for being part of the Justified. Didn't see you in the chat tonight, but hope you catch on the replay, and we hope to see you in the comments. CG Collects, the fact that you said you spent more than what I spent in 2022 on figures has me concerned. But then I'm relieved that you're only getting the money to spend that much from gambling. You must be very good at slots, or you're counting cards. Keep an eye on them, Chi Collects. Tac Tac Toys. Thanks again for reminding us about Craig's Nostalgic Collection's birthday. It's every day as far as I'm concerned. Don't forget the dots. Stay alive, Tac Tac. We love you. And make sure the AI doesn't take up too much space over there, because I do enjoy hearing your natural voice. KJ Smith, thanks for lubing up every time you come. Thank you for being part of the Justified. Please hope to be in the comments at the end of this video. We love you. AG Marine, Ag Marine. What's your take on this name, guys? Ag, AG,
I've been saying
Silver.
AG. Yeah.
I'll say AG.
Silver is AG is the. Thank you for being part of the Justified. We love you. Hope to see you in the comments as well. Please correct us with phonetic pronunciation of your name. John Busink Jr. The name's so nice, they used it twice. Thank you for being part of the Justified. Hope to see you in the comments. Tell us what your strategy is for saving or losing money while being an action figure collector. Pixels and Plastic, always a pleasure to see you around. Hope to see you soon. Same thing, get in the comments. Cedric Brown, Brian Wong, Craft Collects, and of course, Joe Juxtapose. I like that name. Not only is it alliteration, but it's juxtaposed to all of the people that have creative names in the Justified. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, and Chi Collects did specify betting on sports mainly. Australian sports and soccer have been very lucky.
Oh my God, that's like hard mode of gambling.
Yeah, yeah. Unless you're from the future. Oh, wait. Chi Collects is from the future, right? Future time zone. There we go. Cheating. We figured you out, Chi. We figured you out. But guys, thank you for everybody in the chat. Thank you for everyone watching, all the channel members. We weren't trying to have a downstream, but just trying to, like, realistically talking about, everyone's talking about prices. Everyone's freaking out. End of the day, we're all going to be okay. It's fine. It's fine. AI is going to take over. Prices are going to go through the roof. We'll be fine. Okay. We'll still have all this plastic. Until next time. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week, 8:45, right? On the dot.